Good evening, football fans, and welcome to Randolph High School. We are coming to you live here for this matchup between the Randolph Cardinals and the merged Franklinville-Ellicottville Titans. Both teams coming here at 1-0 to start this game. Norm Rodriguez here along with Jacob Fayok. Jake, how are you doing this evening?
Look, guys, it's ecstatic here. I'm finally here for Randolph. First football game I'm here down at Randolph. They're taking on the defending Section 6 Class D champions, where they defeated in Salamega about a couple months ago, to end that, COVID football season. So this should be a really good matchup here between Randolph and Franklinville-Ellicottville.
I most certainly agree, and that was a year with the COVID-shortened season. That's something Stephen King could have wrote a thriller novel about, but both teams are off to 1-0 starts. They're both off to strong starts. Randolph, they shut out JFK in their opening game 47-0 back on the 3rd. And Franklinville-Ellicottville, their first game was on the 4th. They beat Lackawanna 28-16. So both teams coming in 1-0, and both teams have very young lineups. Randolph, they've got 30 players on the roster. Only 4 of them are seniors, and then there's 13 each of juniors and sophomores. So a lot of players coming back for them next year. And then for Franklinville-Ellicottville, 12 seniors, 11 juniors, 9 sophomores, and 5 freshmen. So for them, it's anybody who's anybody.
Yeah, and especially now that Climate Stream and Panama are now back in Class D, and who knows for how long, but both these teams, Randolph, Franklinville, and Ellicottville, they're all going to at least have 2 or 3 more years where they're going to stay up top in Class D and go and compete against guys like CSP, and for Franklinville and Ellicottville to try and defend their title for this season. To talk about Randolph, that 47-0 victory against JFK, non-league matchup, a little bit of an interesting story on that one. So the JFK football program hired a head coach 2 days before their week 1 matchup. So you could say there's definitely a little bit of a disadvantage right there, but nonetheless, when you execute your plays, you execute your game plan, that's exactly what Randolph did. 353 rushing yards on the ground, 7 people rushed, and a big part of that was Xander Hind, 191 yards on the ground with 3 touchdowns. Regardless if JFK had a solid game plan or not, or if they were completely in it or not, you can't deny what Randolph's talent has at the run game and how big they are up front on the offensive line. And the same thing for Franklinville and Ellicottville. Run game's really strong too. Lucas Marsh, their quarterback, backed up Logan Frank this past season. He was initially their wide receiver on the roster this past season. He's been a dual-threat guy for that Week 1 matchup against Lackawanna. They scored 4 touchdowns, all their 4 touchdowns in the first half, all from him. 3 in the air, 1 on the ground, had almost 200 all-purpose yards. So he'll be a big key on that Titans team.
And that's downright awesome, being able to rock that on both ends. And with us hearing the starting lineups, we've actually got the lineups on both offense and defense for the Randolph Cardinals. The starting quarterback for them is going to be Carson Conley, number 12. The backs are going to be Luke Padgett at fullback and Xander Hind at running back. Hind will also be a starting linebacker on the defense, and he is one of the return specialists. Jaden Huntington is a tight end, and he's also the punter too. And the offensive line, Gavin Stern, Sterling Sky, Dylan Schrader, Aaleel Bryan, and Ryan Carpenter. And defensive side, the front 4, Maverick Adams, Ryan Carpenter, Jody Frame, and Sterling Sky, the front 4. The backers are going to be Jaden Huntington, Peyton Slade, and Xander Hind. And the defensive backs, the safeties will be Padgett and Josh Bush, and the corners are going to be Christian Birch and Owen Nelson. And while we wait for the anthem, we've also got the referees for tonight's game too. Russell Bonfiglio is the head referee, Keith Fish is the umpire, linesman's Aaron Brown, and the line judge is David Fody. So Randolph's lineup has been sounded off by the public address announcer, and I'm assuming we will have to get ready for the national anthem momentarily.
And before we do that real quick, I just want to thank our sponsors for tonight's game, which is Howard and Handa Real Estate Services, Logistics Plus of Buffalo, AdPro Sports, and G&G Fitness. We thank those sponsors for helping us out, because if they weren't the big part of our sponsors, we wouldn't be broadcasting this game right now and the other broadcasts that we've done in the past and the near future for this football season.
And it's been a lot of fun doing it, and we appreciate that. But now we've got the national anthem. We will see you on the other side. And we're about to see the coin toss right here, right now. Once again, if you are just tuning in, we are at Randolph High School here in Randolph, New York, where the Randolph Cardinals will be taking on the Franklinville-Ellicottville Titans. Both teams coming in at 1-0. One after this evening will walk away with a 2-0 start.
Big game up here. Big league matchup. Section 6 defending Class D champion in Franklinville-Ellicottville going up against Randolph, who is a bit of a team on the rise. Even with that young roster, like we mentioned a little bit in our pregame show before the national anthem, they're going to be a tough team to go up against. CSP just came back from transitioning back from Class C to Class D. They're going to be back here. They've always been a dominant team the past 5 seasons in Class D, and that's an understatement considering the amount of state titles and the amount of section and regional titles they've won. So you got 3 very good teams that are going to be going up against each other. This playoff, down the road, and a Class D title seems like it's going to be very fun and entertaining.
And Franklinville-Ellicottville won the toss. They've deferred, so Randolph will get the ball first to start the game. And we're about to be underway.
And with a lot of these football teams in Western New York, they always like to initiate a very strong run game. On our game last night between Cheektowaga and Burgard, they did the exact same thing. Have nice duo running backs with Cheektowaga coming up with the 46 victory due to strong run presence from their running backs of Cameron Warburton and Jalen Henlin. And that's just one team of many examples throughout Western New York that have a strong run game. We're going to see it right here. Who's going to have the better run game? Is it going to have Randolph, who dominated well against JFK, or is it going to be Franklinville-Ellicottville, who showed showed some really good passing in their Week 1 game that might do a little bit of a balance in their run and pass game here?
And having that good balance is vital. I remember you and I were talking about, just before the start of broadcast, Randolph only threw the ball 2 times against JFK. Just 2 times, and it totaled 9 net yards.
And as for the head coach, Brent Brown, I spoke to him about a couple days ago. They just did that because the run game was doing so well. They didn't need to throw the ball. His quarterback for Randolph, he can throw the ball. He can get the ball downfield. And there could be a situation where they might need his arm to get him out of certain third down situations. We're just got to wait and see, but this should be a very good matchup here in the southern tier in Randolph.
I'm expecting a good one. And again, the returners, the deep men, they are Christian Birch and Xander Hind. And Hind, he is related to the family of Tyler and Isaac, who did very well in basketball for Randolph, as the kickoff is about to occur, and it's going to be Joe Conlin putting toe to leather. Both teams coming here 1-0 records, and we're about to start this game. A beautiful Friday evening here at Randolph High School. And here comes the boot. And it's going to be a knuckler, and it rolls to the 30, and it goes out of bounds. So Randolph's going to get a good field position. They're going to get this at the 40-yard line.
In terms of NFL standards, that is completely a disastrous kick. But obviously, with its different skill set in the NFL and high school football, if it's at the 40-yard line, it's not that big of a deal. Because like I said, a lot of these teams will use a lot of the run game, won't use the outside as much as I believe they should. So even with that bad of a kick, the ball actually plays to the 35-yard line.
I did notice that too, yes.
That will still have Ellicottville and Franklinville-Ellicottville will still get a good shot, come up with some big defensive plays.
And here comes a snap, and it's going to be a handoff right away to Hind. And he gets it to past the 40-yard line, gets it to about the 41. But there is a flag on the play. It's going to be a chop block on Randolph. So that's going to be a 15-yard penalty.
And that was a nice run by Hind, getting to the outside, right side of the field. And, you get a chop block, it just kills big plays like that. And first play of the game for Randolph, you already see that how a positive play just became a negative due to a penalty.
And that's unfortunate because that was a nice 6-7 yard run there by Hind to start it, but we're going to get a take 2 on the first offensive play of the game for Randolph. And here comes the whistle, and Randolph breaks the huddle. Titans in a 4-3 defensive alignment. Here's a snap, and it's a give to Hind again. And he goes to the right side of the field, finds a gap, gets to the 30, 35 to the 40. He's got 3 men to beat, and he gets to pass midfield, brought down at around the 49. That's more than enough for a first down. 31 yards, first carry of the game for Xander Hind, and started it off with a bang. Forget the 6-yard run. I'm sure he'll take that 31 happily.
Well, that was a very similar play. It was probably almost an identical play they had. They just switched it over to the left side, found that blocking, and took the ball right up to just past the midfield marker, and they're in Franklinville-Ellicottville territory.
It's going to be a 1st and 10 at the 49-yard line of the Titans. Here's a snap, and it's to Hind again. He gets to the 45, pounds the rock to the 41-yard line. One of the guys to bring him down was Hayden Treatley, number 33, one of the guys to stop him there on the defense. A gain of 8 yards on the play makes it a 2nd down and 2. And Randolph, not like some high school teams we've seen early in the season with the semi-hurry-up, Randolph does do the huddle and takes their time a little longer than some teams we have seen before. And here's a snap. Give to Hind. No, it's a fake. It's going to be a keeper, but read right away by the defense. And one of the main guy to bring him down was Ben Broll, number 56. The run lost 1, maybe 2 yards on that play.
Yeah, Carson Conley, their quarterback, they wanted to go with the option play. This time he kept it himself, and Ben Broll, along with him, Ethan Frank, and Caleb Plotz, each had a sack in their Week 1 victory against Lackawanna. Those 3 guys up front on defense for Franklinville-Ellicottville, watch out for them.
It was a loss of 1 on that quarterback keeper. It's going to be 3rd down and 3. And here's a give to Hind once again. And I believe with that push, he may have gotten it. And yes, he did. Looks like it's about a 4-yard gain. That will be enough for a first down. You don't need a lot. You just need enough. And looks like there's could be a measurement here.
Yeah, that ball is just past the 40-yard line, in between the 39 40-yard line.
This could be 4th and inches. It'll all depend on the spot.
That is very close. I don't think he actually got it. If he did, he barely got it.
We'll just have to wait and see. Here comes the measurement, and just from the tugging of that rope, the chain, that has to be enough. Just from the he's barely got it. From my view, it looks like he just got it by the nose.
Oh, they're double checking it.
Yeah,
they're trying to make sure.
This is tough to see. This is very tricky, and the referee's indicating it's just short. It's going to be 4th and inches, and I can't take a guess here. I do believe Randolph's going to go for this.
Oh, absolutely. They definitely got to go for it. You're that close. You've had Xander Hind have a big run for you after a penalty called against you for your first play of the game. You got to feed it to him. If not, you got to try to find an option play to keep some open. They have something on the right side there.
Here's the give to Hind right here, and he slipped. I don't think he got it with that slip. It's going to be close. He's at the 39 still, but the slip and fall, they're going to give it to him. So it may have been from the spot before Hind lost his balance and slipped. So very fortunate for him getting the first down there for Randolph.
I tell you what, that's a huge break for Randolph. Hind had so much room. He could have probably gotten too close to maybe the 30-yard line. But like you mentioned, he slipped and fell, and he just had enough forward progress for a first down.
And Randolph, here comes the shotgun snap in the pistol formation here. Here's the snap, and it's a fake. And Conley's going to keep it himself and got about maybe a yard.
Caleb Plotz from Franklinville-Ellicottville there on the tackle. You know, listen, they're doing a good job judging who's getting the ball. It's just that Hind, off this opening drive, just has so much speed and good blocking where he's able to get yardage, whereas Conley, as soon as they see Conley with it, they're just able to get onto him right away.
And that was a 2-yard gain by Conley on the fake keeper, and this one's going to go to Hind this time. He swings around the 35, gets tackled airborne, gets to around the 34, maybe the 33. It will be 3rd down, and we do got a player a little dinged up on the field. Don't have a determination on what the number is, but with the players going to the sidelines, we will take a quick break. The scoreless as Randolph continues their first drive. You're watching this matchup between them and the Franklinville-Ellicottville Titans right here on WNY Athletics.
Paul Wolf Agency, how can I help?
I got a problem.
I got a big problem. The house flooded overnight, everything's destroyed, and I don't know what to do.
You can relax. The wolf is on his way.
What's the damage?
It's bad.
As opposed to good? It's 20 minutes away. I'll be there in 10.
You're Teddy?
Yes, sir.
I'm Paul Wolf. I solve problems.
Oh, good, because I got a big one in here.
May I come in?
Absolutely.
Mr. Wolf, can I get you a cup of coffee?
And we're about to resume action here between the Randolph Cardinals and the Franklinville-Ellicottville Titans right here in WNY Athletics. It was Bo Bilecki that was a little dinged up, but he was able to get up on his own power. 3rd and 3 here after the 5-yard run by Heine. He gets another carry, makes one defender miss, and he does get enough for the first down. Got it to around the 25-yard line. It'll all depend where he fell out of bounds. And Hunter Smith was able to stop Hine, but it's enough for Cardinals' first down.
Yeah, just keep giving it to Hine, and he's going to give you those big third down conversions. He's done a tremendous job with the ball in his hand.
And here's a snap. A give to Hine again. He gets into the red zone with that carry, gets it to the 15. So that'll be roughly a 7-yard gain. And 7.5 minutes left in the first already. So far, Randolph's burnt more than 4 minutes of clock. And that's another big thing when you're able to run the ball efficiently.
And this is what Brent Brown's offense basically did against JFK. Just ran the ball.
2nd down and 4. It's another give to Hind, and he gets bottled up on that one. One of the guys for Franklinville-Ellicottville to bring him down was Joe Conlon. Looks like Hyde may have gotten 1, maybe 2 yards on the run. Or no, they're giving him a first down. So it's going to be 1st and goal for the Cardinals. 6:47 left in the first quarter.
Yeah, so far for Randolph, they have about 62 yards of total offense, all on the ground, and all coming from still their opening drive.
And here comes a snap, and it's another give to Heim, but we got a flag. This might be a false start on Randolph, and it probably will be.
That flag was thrown back onto the side of the offense, and the ref singles it. False start. Move him back.
So it'll make it a 1st down and 15. So the second penalty on Randolph on this drive. And the clock will start rolling again. 6:32 left in the first, and should be counting, but it's still frozen right now. But here comes the snap. It's a give to Hind. And Hind will break a few tackles. He gets it to around the 12-yard line. So that was a gain of about 3 yards, so it'll be 2nd down.
So Blake Frank, he's a senior as a defensive back on Franklinville-Ellicottville, also plays wide receiver. He was trying to go for that football, and that's why Hind was able to get a couple more yards.
And that was a 6-yard run on that last play by Hind, by the way, as it will be a 2nd down and 9 at the 12. And they do got a receiver on the right side. That is Josh Bush, but it's going to be a keeper, and stopped right away, but gets about 3 yards, so it'll make it a 3rd down 6. And this is 4-down territory here for the Randolph Cardinals should they not convert this 3rd down here. But the way Hind's running the ball, I don't think this is going to be a problem for them so far in this drive.
No, absolutely not. They're inching the way forward every single time. Every run play they've had other than the one penalty, they've been always able to get positive yards. So they just have to keep doing what they're doing. Like you mentioned, it's 4th down territory. They've done a good job with the ball.
To give to Hind again, he gets it to the 5, gets stopped at around the 4, maybe the 3.
They're going to get him at the 4.
So a gain of about 5 on the play by Hind, and it's going to be 4th down and goal at the 4th and 1. So they can get a first down here without scoring a touchdown. And they've burnt off more than 7 minutes of clock. They've controlled more than half of it already in the first. So fourth and a yard at the 4-yard line. Pistol formation again. Snap, give to Hind, and he got in. That's going to be a touchdown, I believe. From my view, it looked like he broke the plane.
They haven't singled it yet. Oh, they're going to stop him at the 1-yard line. He just was that short, just inches away from breaking the end zone.
Even so, it is enough for a first down. So it'll be first and goal at the 6-inch line. And Conley gets the play to relay to the offense. More than 7 minutes burnt off the clock for Randolph to start this game. First and goal at the 1. And they're in a goal line formation here. First and goal at the 1. And we have a flag. This could be a false start again. And from the way Randolph's walking back, it probably will be. No, it's a neutral zone infraction.
Yeah, I saw that on looked like that was number 28, Braylon Wyatt, who jumped off the right side. He was trying to come in on inside and I don't know if the snap count got him a little bit, but
maybe he tried to guess it.
Just got a little bit too jumpy.
But it's only going to be half the distance to the goal. First goal at the 1, and Conley's going to keep it, and he's in there easily for a touchdown. So after a drive that burned 7.5 minutes flat off the clock, Randolph scores first 6-0, and so far, counting the last game, they've scored 53 points, and they've yet to allow one single one defensively.
Yeah, and it's still early on in the season, but you are correct. 53-0, they've outscored their opponents so far. And, that just shows the dominance that they had in week 1. And you just saw it right there on the first drive. They've killed more than half of the clock here in the first quarter, went down the field, took it little by little, had one big explosive play on their side of the field, and was able to get the 6 from their quarterback.
And this is going to be a 2-point conversion try. It's going to be a give to Hind, and he's got it. So 2-point conversion good. And with that, Randolph's now ahead 8-0 as they will prepare to kick it off to Franklinville-Ellicottville, who will see the ball for the first time, and I'm sure their offense is anxious to get out there. I would say they waited a good, according to the clock, good 15, 20 minutes to get out there.
And nothing can be more infuriating, especially if it's the beginning of the game, to just have your defense out there for such a long time. And it's even more challenging because obviously with this being high school football, a lot of your defensive players are your offensive players too. So they're going to be a little bit tired. They're going to be a little bit frustrated because they want to get on the offense right away to try to get some points back. And that's where, as a head coach, you got to be. Do you want to go down quickly, or do you want to take your time to try to get your team down there inch by inch, like Randolph did on their first drive?
I'm sure Franklinville-Ellicottville would want to get 6 on the board as soon as possible, so that way they can at least make it a 2-point game before the end of the first quarter. But right now, Randolph's kickoff team is on the field, and we're waiting for the Titans' return team, and there they come. And once again, it's going to be Ryan Carpenter kicking off for Randolph. There's a lot of high school teams that use linemen to kick off, kick field goals, PATs, because a lot of them do have lead feet.
So Carson Conley picked up on that touchdown, his second rushing touchdown on the year. Had 8 carries for 35 yards in their Week 1 victory against JFK and a touchdown.
Oh, that's a nice kick right down the middle of the field. Gets fielded at around the 27-yard line, gets to the 30, brought down at around the 32. That was returned by Brad John, number 85, as the Titans will get their first offensive series of the game. It's going to be first down and 10. 4:24 left in the first quarter. 8-0 in favor of Randolph. And Lucas Marsh, as you said, Jake, had a great performance last week against Lackawanna. He'll look for a follow-up performance to start off right here on his first offensive drive of the first quarter.
We talk about dual-threat quarterbacks at the highest level in college football. It's kind of a rarity to see him in high school, and that's what Lucas Marsh did in Week 1, and he's got to follow it up here.
Single back, 3-wide set, fake handoff. Marsh is going to go downfield right off the bat. Left wide open and dropped. Incomplete. That was intended for Blake Frank. Marsh sold the fake beautifully, threw it to where only Frank could catch the ball, but he just was not able to get a firm grip on it. If he catches that, he's going to the house.
That was a beautifully thrown ball, and like you said, Frank just could not find a way to reel it in. He did have a catch from him from Marsh last week for 14 yards. But the big ones in that Week 1 game, he went to Logan Granoll's for 3 receptions, and he went to Hunter Smith for 2 times. Hunter Smith, in that game, he had 2 catches. Both ended up in the end zone for 6.
It's going to be 2nd down 10, and now in the I formation, the Titans are, as it will be a pitch, and that is over to Swalsey, and brought down right away, and losing yardage on the play. And one of the guys to bring him down for Randolph, that was number 44, the linebacker Peyton Slade. Looked like a loss of 2 from my view.
So they'll make it a 3rd and 11. And when I spoke to Randolph head coach Brent Brown, he kept talking about how big they are up front, offensively and defensively. And so far, even though it's one drive, they did a really good job stopping that run play to the outside, able to break through that offensive line.
Titans in a 3-wide, 2-back set. 3rd down and 11, 3:32 left in the first. Marsh wants to do it through the air. He's going to shoot it downfield, and that's going to be incomplete. That was intended for John Nuzzo, but incomplete, and that's going to be a 3-and-out right off the bat.
And that's just a miscommunication between Marsh and Nuzzo. Nuzzo stopped, and Marsh just chucked it because he knows Nuzzo has the speed to get by that defender. But because Nuzzo stops right away, that ball is thrown. Now he has to get all that momentum back, all that speed, and he just was not going to make that catch.
So Randolph's defense off to a great start. Force a 3-and-out, 3 plays, -1 yard. It's going to be 4th down and 11, and it's going to be Hind as the deep man. And it's going to be Nuzzo punting the ball for the Titans.
So right now, Falconer is currently up 14-0.
Well, here comes the punt, and that's a spiraler hitting the 40, and a nice bounce. Rolls to the 30, gets to the 25, and it'll roll forward to the 26. That gets downed by Ben Brohl. And a nice punt there, a 43-yard punt by John Nuzzo, and it's going to be 1st and 10 at the 26-yard line for the Randolph Cardinals. So 3:25 left in the first. Randolph burns off 7.5 minutes on their opening offensive series. Defense force a 3-and-out, and now they got a chance to take a 2-touchdown lead.
They definitely do, and this is where Franklinville-Ellicottville, even though it's in the first quarter, have to get a big stop. This is very similar start to the opening drive Randolph had, and they killed a lot of clock and got down there from each play little by little, but they were able to get in the end zone.
And Hines going to get another carry, and he nearly crosses the 30, gets to roughly the 29. That'll be about a gain of 3 yards on the play. One of the defenders to take him down was Lucas Marsh, who's also out there as a defensive back.
And Hines just did a great job. He saw nothing to the outside, so he just cut back up to the middle, right around that left hash, and able to get more positive yardage for his team.
So that's a gain of 4 on the run. It'll be 2nd down and 6 with 2:55 left in the first. Randolph once again in that pistol formation, a fake handoff, and here's the first throw of the game. Conley lobs over to the tight end. That's caught midfield, and ahead. And Marsh shot a bend there. The tight end, Jaden Huntington, he would have been to the house, and that was just a beautiful throw. It was not a bullet pass. He just threw a simple lob, Conley, and it went right into the hands of Huntington, and that was a gain of, 30 yards.
And that was a beautifully placed ball. They got Huntington wide open. That's the 3rd pass of the season for Randolph. They only threw 2 times in week 1 and just threw a beautifully thrown ball to Huntington.
And Hind made a guy miss, and he makes another man miss, gets to the 30, to the 20. He could be gone, and he gets in there for a touchdown. What a job by Hind to get away from the defense, turn on the nitro when he needed to, and he gets his first touchdown of the game. 14-0 with 2:08 left in the first quarter, and this drive only took a minute and change.
Hind now has 5 touchdowns in 5 quarters.
Whew,
From that first game against JFK into not even the end of this first quarter, he's averaging almost a touchdown a quarter right now. I get it's early in the season, but Hind looks very strong in this game here against Franklinville-Ellicottville.
2-point try. It's a fake handoff. Conley wants to throw. Throws it to the end zone. Incomplete. Almost caught there by Huntington. Nearly made a circus catch, but Randolph shouldn't worry too bad about it. They're still up 14-0. They've got the momentum. They've got the home field. 2:08 left in the first quarter, and they're about to boot it back over to the Titans. And the Titans need to get a touchdown on this drive right here. We've seen Randolph chew clock on their first drive, but in the last one they showed they can get down the field quick.
They did, and that was with Huntington's pass play that opened up the offense. I believe that was only like, a 4-play drive there?
Yeah.
Complete 180 from their opening drive that led them to their first touchdown. They had a nice big run. They had a beautiful thrown ball to Huntington, and then Hine just being methodical on the outside part of the sideline. It looked like he was going to step out of bounds, but he was able to tiptoe, able to stay in bound, and just take it to the house. A very, very strong start for Randolph.
And the deep men for the Titans, they are going to be Bo Bilecki and Logan Granols. They're the two deep guys for the Titans, and here comes the kickoff by Randolph, and that's another beauty. And that's going to go right to Granols, and he's going to swing it over to the right side, try to stiff arm. He gets brought down right away, and it looked like he was, yes, he was. It looked like no, he was not. I beg your pardon. I thought he was brought down by the kicker for a second, but he was not. He was brought down by Maverick Adams, number 60, as we have exactly 2 minutes left in the first, and now, as mentioned, the Titans need to get something going on this drive. You can't afford another 3 and out. You need your defense that's not playing offense to rest up, because that big drive and then just a 4-play, 5-play rest, and then they're back out there again.
So I do want to correct myself on the stat department. That was actually Hine's 4th touchdown of the season.
And there's a 3-wide set, 2 on the left, 1 on the right, 2 backs. Marsh takes a snap, and it's going to be a give, but stopped right away. The handoff was to Swalsey, and it looked like he may have just gotten back to the line of scrimmage. And he did. That's going to be no gain on the play, so it'll be 2nd down 10 at the 28-yard line. And the Titans, they're another one of those teams that like to get the play out in a hurry without having to fully perform a huddle, as we have 90 seconds left in the first quarter. Again, the score 14-0 in favor of Randolph, and Titans are taking their time here, and there is a time clock being kept regarding getting a snap off. Marsh is in the shotgun formation. May have been a miscommunication, and it looks like it was, unless there was an audible. And we got a flag. This is going to be delay a game. I'm wondering if there was some offensive confusion, or maybe you heard the wrong play, or there was an audible that was missed. It could be an array of options, but they're calling it a false start. To me, that looked like a delay of game.
Well, the ref behind Frankenville-Ellicottville's offense did have his hand up, so I wonder if they had like 5 seconds, but the offensive line just probably jumped. And, it may be weird saying that. Maybe they kind of did it on purpose, because there was confusion on the offense where they could delay a game. It just didn't matter. It's either going to be a delay a game or an offsides. They were going to lose 5 yards. They had a lot of confusion of what their play they wanted to run.
And Marsh takes a snap, and he wants to throw. He's under pressure, gets outside the pocket, roams to the right, and he just gets it off and broken up. And a great job there on defensive side. That was by number 26, Blake Frank. If he does not break up that pass, Christian Birch has an interception.
They definitely do. And, I actually love the mobility and scrambility of Marsh. He did a phenomenal job. He saw the pressure. He went to the left side, but, off that awkward throw that he had towards his right as he's moving to his left towards Randall's Randall's sideline, that's just so hard to do as a quarterback.
So far, the Titans have -6 yards of total offense, as it's a 3rd and 15 at the 28. A first down would be very huge here for the Titans. You don't want to have back-to-back 3 and outs. And here comes the snap. Marsh wants to get it through the air, and he will throw it downfield, and that got caught off the tip! And that's going to be enough no, that won't be enough for a first down. It'll be an 11-yard gain. The pass was caught by Hunter Smith on the deflection. And being at the 39, I wouldn't be shocked if the Titans try to go for it here.
No, they gave him the first down.
Oh, yeah. He was what? It was a 16-yard pass. So.
There was a little confusion with the ball on spot, so my apologies on that. But first down of the game for Franklinville-Elkville nonetheless. So that was a gain of 17 yards on that pass. So it's a first down, the first one of the game for the Titans. And I wonder if they're just going to let the clock run and take that little bit of momentum, or if they want to run a play. They've got a trips right, one receiver to the left, and they have one back as he gets set in motion, becomes an empty backfield, 5 wides. Marsh in the shotgun, takes a snap, wants to throw, under pressure, gets away, and now he shoots it down the right side of the field, and that's going to be incomplete. And the intended guy, once again, was Blake Frank, and that's how we end the first quarter. Randolph up 14-0, but the Titans, they're starting to get it together a little bit. And with that, we're going to take a quick break. You are watching this matchup between the Randolph Cardinals and the Franklinville-Elkville Titans right here on WNY Athletics.
When it's time to...
Paul Wolf Agency, how can I help?
I got a problem. I got a big problem. The house flooded overnight, everything's destroyed, and I don't know what to do.
You can relax. The wolf is on his way.
What's the damage?
It's bad.
As opposed to good? It's 20 minutes away. I'll be there in 10.
You're Teddy?
Yes, sir.
I'm Paul Wolf. I solve problems.
Oh, good. Because I got a big one in here.
May I come in?
Absolutely.
Mr. Wolf, can I get you a cup of coffee?
And we're about to start the second quarter right here at Randolph High School with the Franklinville-Elkville Titans getting a first down just 2 plays ago. The last play before the end of the first was an incomplete pass, but they're at their own 40-yard line, second down and 10. They're down 14-0. It's too early for the Titans to panic, but at the same token, they need to get a touchdown on this drive right now as the offense comes back onto the field for the Titans. It's going to be a second down and 10 at the 40-yard line. It's going to be a 2-wide stack on the right, 1 on the left. Marsh takes a snap on shotgun. He wants to throw. Throws it down the middle of the field. That's caught. That's complete over to Logan Reynolds, and he's down the sideline. He picked up a block 30, and he could go all the way. He gets another block, and he gets in for a touchdown. I got to give credit, though, to John Nuzzo. He does not throw that block, and Logan Reynolds gets stopped inside the 10, but with that, a 60-yard touchdown pass, and just like that, 14-6, the Titans are on the board, and they cut the deficit to single digits. What a throw and what patience down the sideline from QB to wide receiver. That was just flawless.
You know, week one's game against JFK, Logan Granolas had over 100 all-purpose yards, 47 on the ground, 76 in the air with 1 receiving touchdown, and you see it why. 1 big play, 60 yards. Franklinville-Elkville knew they needed to respond back quickly, and they were able to.
And a quick timeout is called by the Titans probably to figure out what they want to do, whether go for the 1-point PAT or try to go for 2, but 14-6, just 24 seconds played in the second quarter, and Franklin-Elkville scores the first points of the year against the Cardinals as they had a shutout last week, 47-0 over JFK, to viewers that are just tuning into this game, that are just starting. So 14-6 as we will wait for the PAT attempt.
And this is something that Franklinville-Elkville, you know, is going to probably have to do. He's going to rely more on the air and more on the passing of Marsh. They can develop a good, strong game, but they're going to have to try to get it to the outside with maybe some more toss plays. But Randolph's front line has been strong, and now you might see adjustment with Randolph where maybe they keep a couple people back more for those deep passes or intermediate throws, which could open up the run game for Franklinville-Elkville.
And speaking of them, they're going to go for the PAT. And the kicker is going to be Joe Conlon. The holder will be Marsh. Here's a snap, put down, kick on the way, and that's going to be way off. Way wide to the left, but the Titans do get 6 on the board, 14-6, 11:36 left in the first half, and they will prepare to kick it back off to the Cardinals. And I believe what Franklinville-Elkville's coach is going to say is try to keep the ball out of Hines' hands on the return. Even if it's just a 25, 30-yard squib kick, you'd rather give up that yardage than a possible bigger return.
Yeah, absolutely. And, another big thing, when that Titans defense gets back out there is they're going to have to be worried about with the passing. I mentioned earlier before the game started, their quarterback Conley can throw the ball. We saw that with the beautiful pass to Huntington. It was a pass play that Franklin-Ellicottville was not expecting at all. So now you have that to worry about, and you still have Hind, which they so far have not been able to contain very well.
And they've got to come up with some sort of scheme to get that to occur, or else Hind could have another really good game tonight.
And he's definitely showing off so far. He's very
yes, he has.
If he keeps if he has another big drive like this where he gets the ball in his hand, he could easily succeed past 100 yards rushing.
He's already nearing that mark. He has at least 80 yards, I would guess, because he did have that big touchdown run near the end of the first quarter.
And then he also had that 31-yard rushing attempt on their opening drive.
So he does have at least 85, 90 yards.
Yeah, he's definitely got to be very close to that century mark.
And it'll be Conlon kicking it off. And the deep men, once again, are Birch and Hind. The Titans do need to get a stop, though, defensively, and they can't afford to let Randolph burn another 6-7 minutes. But here comes Conlon's kickoff on the way. And that one's a beauty down the right side of the field, and that will take a bounce and gets fielded there by Birch. He gets to the 35, and he gets yanked down. Got brought down on the play by Granoles, who just scored that touchdown for the Titans. Very close. He nearly got the horse collar area, but luckily he was able to get the shoulder pad part of the jersey and drag down Birch. But it's going to be good field position here for the Cardinals. It's going to be at the 26, 27-yard line from the spot. So first down and 10 here for Randolph. Snap, and it's going to be another give to Hind. Hind goes to the right side and breaks a couple tackles and gets brought down at the 34-35, so a gain of 8-9 yards. And the main guy to bring him down was Blake Frank. But another good run there by Hind.
Listen, if there's not two guys in front of Hind, he's just going to keep tearing you up on the ground game. He's done a phenomenal job finding the holes and able to use his agility and speed to get forward progress going. Randolph, very lucky to have this guy as the running back.
Shotgun formation. Here's a snap, and this is going to be a give to Birch, his first carry of the game. He crosses the 40. Lost ball, fumble. Let's see who fell on it. There's a big pile. The ball was clearly out. Titans are claiming they have it. Let's see what the ref indicates. They do. That's going to be a turnover for Randolph, and the Titans are going to have excellent field position. So on Birch's first carry of the game, he coughs it up, and it gets pounced on by the Titans. It's going to be a first down and 10, and they are in Randolph territory. They're at the 42-yard line, so they've got a chance to make this 14-12. That's a huge break for the Titans.
A huge break and an unfortunate thing to happen for Randolph. Like you mentioned, Birch with his first carry, and Franklin-Ellicottville able to strip it and just able to jump on it right away. They got a big touchdown from Marsh to Granoles, and with 10:51 remaining in the first half, they have an opportunity to tie this game with a touchdown and a chance to go for two.
Trips right, and Frank, I believe, who forced the fumble, is in at the slot. Here's a snap, and Marsh rolls to the right, throws, and that one's going to be caught by Frank. So the slot guy was actually Hunter Smith. Sometimes the jerseys can be a little tricky to see when the receiver's standing up, and sometimes the number blocks. But the pass was complete to Blake Frank. We'll have to see the spot. Looked like it was about looks like it's going to be a 12, 13-yard game from the spot. So it is enough for a first down, and they're nearing the Cardinals' red zone. And the referee says, let's keep that clock rolling. It's going to be a 3-wide, 2-back set, and it's going to be the shotgun for Marsh. A golden opportunity here to get another touchdown on the board for the Titans. Here's a snap, and it's going to be a give, and the runner slipped, but he was able to get to looked like he got to the 28, maybe the 29-yard line. That was Swalsey on the carry. We'll just have to wait for the spot as we have a little over 10 minutes left in the half. 14-6 in favor of Randolph, and they're going to mark it as a 2-yard gain. So the ball's going to be at around the 28, maybe 29-yard line.
Looks like they'll have it marked at the 28. Marsh getting a single call from his head coach. Also the father of Elkville is their head coach.
And they can now take their time a little bit as they're threatening to score. They got trips right once again, 2 slot receivers. One receiver to the right. Marsh wants to throw. He's looking. He stays in the pocket, throws middle of the field, incomplete. That was intended for Logan Granols, but it looked like he was trying to catch it with his chest and his hands and not with his fingers.
Yeah, that had to have been tough because Marsh was settled. He was poised. He looked a little bit like with his helmet to see where he wanted to go to. He saw Granols wide open. He was able to hit and fire, and Granols just wasn't in position enough to make the catch.
It's going to be definitely 4-down territory for the Titans. It's 3rd and 8 at the 28-yard line. It's going to be a 4 wide, 2 on each side, and 2 slot receivers. Here comes the snap. Marsh wants to get it through the air again. He cocks the arm, throws it deep for the end zone for Frank. Caught for a touchdown! What a catch there by Frank, and he does get a little bit of a right to celebrate. That was a nice catch and a good job by Frank to hold on to the ball in spite of very good coverage there by Birch. Birch did a phenomenal job with the coverage. Frank just made a very awesome play on the ball. You got to give credit to both ends on that.
Oh, absolutely, Frank. That ball was technically a little bit underthrown, but Marsh still had a nice, beautiful arcing pass to where Frank had an opportunity to adjust and able to make a big catch. Frank turned around a little bit. He's able to make a breadbasket catch and just backpedal in the end zone. A huge, huge play for Elkville, and obviously they're going to go for 2 to try and tie the game.
And I like that decision. Even though it's still early in the second quarter, you want to try and get this to a tie as soon as you can because with a team like Randolph, they're one of those teams that can get it done fast. And it's going to be a shotgun formation. Marsh wants to throw. He throws a lob jump ball for Frank, and incomplete. Couldn't quite get it, and very well defended there by Owen Nelson, but that is a small victory for Randolph. However, the Titans do kind of get the last laugh on this one. They cut the deficit to 2, 12 second quarter points. They take advantage of that fumble, 14-12, 9:22 left in the first half, and this is turning out to be a great game. What looked like was going to be a bit of a one-sided affair early on.
Yeah, it's just a nice bounce-back opportunity, and that just shows the type of level-headed this Elkville team is, how poised they are. They were down quickly by 14 points, and their head coach, Jason Marsh, has got them all together, tell them that this game's not over, we're not done yet. And what they do on this second quarter, they basically have flipped it, a complete 180. They look like the better team now, even though they're down by 2 points. And Lucas Marsh has been phenomenal as their quarterback today. He's done well in the pocket. He's done well going to the outside. He sees the pressure. He has the speed to break to the outside where he can run and throw. And for the most part today, he's been throwing the ball. 2 touchdown passes already for him. He's already got 5 on the season. Still not throwing an interception yet.
I've mentioned this a couple of times in past broadcasts. This is almost looking like that song from the play, Annie, Get Your Gun. Anything you can do, I can do better.
So we have a little bit of update on some scores around Western New York. Clarence is up 21-0 on Niagara Falls. Orchard Park shutting out Grand Island 28-0, who Grand Island shut out on Cheektowaga in Week 1. West Seneca West up on Williamsville South 12-6. Frontier and Hamburg. Frontier with a great run game, shutting out Hamburg so far 14-0. And South Park currently up on Williamsville East 8-0. Amherst up on Albion 7-0. And then between Maryville and West Seneca East, it is scoreless.
And here comes a nice kickoff there by Conlon. Oh, bobbled ball, but Birch picks it up. And he will get to the 25 and gets to around the 30-yard line. So a nice recovery there by Christian Birch. He bobbled it, but was able to recover and get some good yardage out of it. So good field position here for Randolph. 1st and 10 at the 30, and what was once 14-0 is now 14-12, and this is starting to get the other end of the rope of tug of war going back to the even part of the field.
I mean, this could be a possible preview for Section 6 Class D title game we're getting here.
And from what I'm seeing right now, it would be a good one. But right now, it's going to be Conley in the shotgun formation. In the pistol, here's a snap. It's a give to Hind. Hind will sweep it on over to the right side, and he meets a wall of defenders. He's able to get a couple of yards out. We got a flag on the play. I'm wondering if it may have been for that hit on the sideline. We'll have to wait and see. Nope, it's going to be a holding. It's going to be against Randolph, so that's going to be a 10-yard penalty. But even though it's a 1st and 20, we did see that Conley does have a good arm throwing the ball. He had that nice touch pass to Huntington, their last touchdown drive, and that was able to get Hind that huge touchdown run he had near the end of the first quarter. So you can't take the passing for granted when it's, even though it's only been run a total of twice, including that 2-point conversion attempt.
Yeah, and so far that pass to the Huntington's been all their passing yards, where on Franklin Ellicottville, they've been throwing it all over the place and able to get a lot of their offense that way in the air.
And here comes the snap. It's a fake. Conley wants to throw. Get it tipped and incomplete. Huntington almost caught that on the tip, and the pass got incomplete. It'll be 2nd down 20. And with that, from what you and I talked about before the game, Conley has already matched his total pass attempts from last week against JFK. And it's only a quarter into the second quarter, no pun intended.
And that was a nice thrown ball. It's just,
It was.
It's just a nice tip pass on the defensive side for the Titans, and Huntington still technically had a chance to catch it, but with those tip passes, your arms can struggle a little bit to try and grab a tip ball.
This is a give to Hind, and Hind will get it to around looked like it was around the 25-yard line. That'll be a gain of about 5. It'll be 3rd down 15. So a 5-yard run there by Hind. And he is for sure nearing the century mark in rushing, and it's not even the end of the first half yet. But here comes Randolph as they break the huddle. 14-12 here, 8:25 left in the first half. It's going to be pistol formation once again. Here's a snap. It's a fake handoff to Hind. Conley shoots it downfield, and that's going to be incomplete. And that pass was intended for Owen Nelson, but it was a little too far, and Frank he had him covered like a blanket. The coverage was perfect.
It was perfect. That was a beautiful play, judging where the deep pass was going to be. He was double covered. The wide receiver for Randolph there was double covered on the play, and even with a perfectly thrown ball, that was just going to be difficult for Owen Nelson to make the catch. 4th down and 15 now. Franklinville-Ellicottville shifting that momentum back to their side, down by 2 with 8:10 remaining in the first half, but they have a chance on their next drive to try to get their lead for the first time today.
And Huntington's going to be set to punt. First punt of the game for Randolph. And good snap. Here's the kick, and that one's a beauty. That is a high torpedo, and that gets fielded over there. Go over by Granoles. Granoles will swing it over to the right side, gets to the 35 to the 41-yard line. A booming punt there by number 87, Jaden Huntington, but it also has a really good return by Granoles, and this is going to be good field position for the Titans, and now they have an opportunity to take their first lead of the game.
They definitely do. You cannot deny how great that punt that was, but what a great job by Granoles catching that on the run and quickly turning himself back upfield to get this ball to around the 40-yard line. Did a phenomenal job to get his team as close to midfield as possible.
And that was nearly a 50-yard punt there by Huntington, as it'll be 1st down and 10 at the 40. And the Titans are going to be in the I formation here. Marsh will be under center. A rarity, as he's usually been in the shotgun formation throughout the night. Here's a snap, and it's going to be a give, and stopped right away. Plugged up past the line of scrimmage, and the first guy to get there was Peyton Slade, and another one that was able to help out from my vision was Sterling Sky, the defensive end. They bottled that up, and there was nowhere to go.
Absolutely nowhere to go, and, the big front four, that big defensive line for Randolph, showing how strong they are, both as offensive linemen and now here on the defensive side for the defensive line, doing a good job breaking through and getting the much-needed tackles to only stopped him. It was actually loss of a yard on a play. So they did a phenomenal job getting to the backfield.
2nd down and 11 here at the 34. No, at the 39, excuse me. Here's a snap. Fake handoff. Marsh wants to throw. He's going to shoot this one deep again for Granols, and he's caught it. He caught it. What a catch. And he'll be brought down at around the 36-yard line. That's going to be a gain of 25 yards. Even though the ball popped out as Granols is getting up, he did complete the process of the catch. That is a 1st down, and another big catch there for Granols, and that's his 2nd catch of the game. His first one was that 60-yard touchdown pass, which was the first touchdown in the game for the Titans.
Listen, that was a basketball move Granols did on that defender, and that makes sense because Granols was one of the big parts of Ellicottville's championship season in their basketball team the past season. Boxed him out a little bit, able to get a little bit of a push, boxed him out, able to make the catch. Big 1st down. Now they're in Randolph territory.
Here's a snap. Marsh wants to throw again. In the pocket, throws it down the center of the field. Complete. That's caught and tackled at the 15-yard line by Nelson. And the guy to make the catch was John Nuzzo. And now they're in the red zone of Randolph, and they've got a shot to take their first lead of the game here with a little over 6.5 minutes left in the half. Randolph calls a timeout, and with that, we will take a quick break ourselves. 14-12 in favor of Randolph, but the Titans are driving. You're watching this matchup between these two teams right here on the W1Y Athletics.
When you're ready to buy a home, start with a visit to howardhanna.com. You can find new listings before they appear anywhere else and refine your search for immediate notifications of similar properties. Plus, get pre-qualified to make your offers stronger and connect with a local Howard Hanna agent who knows your area and how to close the deal. So when you're ready to buy, visit howardhanna.com and find your home fast.
I love being home.
And the Titans are about to walk back onto the field. They are in the Randolph Cardinal red zone here at the 15-yard line. 6:32 left in the first half. 14-12 in favor of the Randolph Cardinals. And due to some internal issues, I've got Jeremy Becker beside me now, filling in for color commentary for a little bit. And as Marsh takes a snap, he's going to wing this to Granols for the end zone. And that's going to be a pass interference. That was a blatant PI. And luckily for high school football, that's just a 15-yard penalty. But with it being at the 15, that'll be half the distance to the goal, and it's an automatic 1st down. So, Jeremy, with you being on color for right now, what are you thinking of this game so far?
Well, so far I see a tale of two tapes. Really, Randolph has just been dominating on the ground, 142 rushing yards so far in this game. And then 150, and then on the reverse side, the Titans are really dominating through the air. 158 yards, for 6 for 11 for Marsh. Really, a really strong performance on both sides.
And again, this is a half the distance to the goal penalty. Penalties that occur inside the 20-yard line is when the half the distance to the goal is enforced. So they'll be at roughly the 7-yard line. It'll be a 1st and goal as the Titans are in the I formation. Marsh will be under center. And a chance for the Titans to take the lead. Here's a snap. Fake handoff. Marsh rolls over to the right. Throws it to the end zone. Wide open, and it is caught. Touchdown to John Nuzzo, and 18 unanswered points for the Franklinville-Ellicottville Titans, and they take their first lead of the game, 18-14, with 6:19 left in the first half. And again, Marsh sells the fake very well, avoids defense, and he's able to find Nuzzo, and patience does pay off, and he showed it right there.
Yeah, really. I mean, Marsh has been very comfortable within that pocket, and last week we were in Jamestown. Tom Prince talked about in the trenches.
Yes.
In the trenches, Franklinville, in the last 3 possessions really have been a lot stronger than the trench side of the defensive side of Randolph.
So it's going to be a 4-wide set. and the only back is Swalsey. It's going to be a shotgun formation on the 2-point try. Granol's the motion man, and Marsh takes a snap, and we got a flag. This is going to be a false start.
Yep. So that's going to back up the two-point attempt 5 yards. So we have, while we have this breaking action, Clarence up 21-0 over Niagara Falls. Orchard Park just overwhelming Grand Island 28-0. It is 21-6 Jamestown over Williamsville South in Williamsville South. This is a good game, and I anticipate this being a good game. Frontier 14, West Seneca West 12. So very close. Hamburg 26, Williamsville East 7. We'll have more scores coming up.
And the 2-point conversion is about to be retried, and it's going to be a similar formation. There's 2 slot receivers and 2 receivers on each side. Here's the snap. Marsh wants to throw. Looking, stays in the pocket, gets away from the pressure, gets away from another guy, throws it for the end zone. That's caught, and he broke the plane. 2-point conversion is good, and wow, Marsh he looked like a mix of Russell Wilson and Lamar Jackson getting away from the pressure, and he was able to get it over to Hunter Smith for the 2-point conversion. 20 unanswered points by the Titans, and they're now ahead 20-14 with 6:19 left in the half.
It's just incredible. I mean, Lucas Marsh is having one heck of a year. I believe last game he had, 3 touchdown passes?
He's already matched that today.
Exactly.
All in this quarter.
I mean, this is a complete 180 from the first quarter where Randolph was really dominating and killing the clock. All of a sudden, Franklinville-Ellicottville's really starting to pick it up right now. Again, like you said, 20 unanswered points. We actually have an update from Falconer, Norm. It is 28-0 Golden Cougars over Silver Creek.
Wow.
So I have an informant over at Falconer giving us these updates. And we are almost set. So beautiful, beautiful night here in Western New York, here in Cattaraugus County. We're in Chautauqua County.
And this has been what we were predicting would be a good game. And again, both these teams off the 1-0 starts, and again, 20 unanswered points by the Titans. 20-14, 6:19 left in the first half, as it again will be Conlon kicking it off for the Titans.
So right now, Lucas Marsh is 7 for 12, 149 yards. Norm.
Wow, and and for first half. For high school, that is outstanding.
That is amazing. Now, last game, Franklinville-Ellicottville did score all their points in the first half.
Yes, they did.
So it'll be interesting to see as we get this game rolling again. 6:19, I believe, left. Yep,
yes,
in
it
the game.
is.
See if Franklinville-Ellicottville could build a lead and hold Randolph right here, especially Isaac Hind.
Oh, nice kick by Conlon, and that one gets fielded by Hind, and he will try to sweep it over to the middle, but he gets met right away, gets hit by Brad John on the return, but it gets to the 30-yard line on Hind's return. It will be a 1st down and 10, and too early for Randolph to panic, but they got to get some points on this drive. They've been outscored 20-0 in the second quarter alone.
Yeah, I mean, again, anything can happen in football, but you and Jacob were talking about this in the first quarter. It was too early for Franklinville-Ellicottville to panic.
Yes.
They did not panic. They kept calm. They kept plugging away. But now it's going to see how Randolph plays from behind for the first time this season.
And here's the give to Hind, and he gets stopped right away. And again, that was Brad John, one of the main guys, along also with Hunter Smith, who just caught the 2-point conversion after Nuzzo's touchdown. So both of them on the stop as we got the triple nickel, 5:55 left in the half and counting. 20-14 in favor of the Titans as Randolph will break the huddle. Honestly, even though Hind's been running the ball well, I want to see Conley throw a few more passes because he's looked good when he's thrown it. He is in the pistol formation. Here's the snap, and it's going to be another give to Hind, and this time they've got it read perfectly. One of the guys to bring him down on the play, that was Ben Brohl, and another one that was there once again, Hunter Smith.
Be about a loss of 2. Norm, you said you wanted to see more passing for Randolph.
I agree. I do.
Let me just.
Because Conley looks good when he throws it.
Conley is only Conley's 1 for 3 for 30 yards in this game so far. So again, Randolph's most of their yards have come on the ground.
Well, 3rd and 13, this has to be a throwing down. Or no, it's going to be an option play, and it goes over to Hind. And he's going to get brought down, and it looked like he was tackled there by Bo Bilecki. And this is going to be 4th down. And Randolph, they're too deep in their own end to go for it. They're going to have to punt it. And the last punt, Huntington, he had a booming, I believe it was a 47-yard punt, and it was high in the sky, higher than the eye in the sky at any casino in Las Vegas.
Yeah. Absolutely a beautiful kick. But an interesting call not to throw the ball on 3rd and long. Really, a lateral back?
The option.
Not lateral option, my apologies.
Well, here comes the next punt by Huntington. And here's the boot. And this one's another decent punt, and it'll take a bounce, and it hits at the 41. So that's going to be a 29-yard punt that gets down by number 3, Josh Bush. And now the Titans have a chance to make this a 2-score game, and if they're to do that and get the 2, they're going to get your favorite saying that you say when we do commentate together when you're not producing.
Yes, yes. Lancaster 14, Hutch Tech 6. So Hutch Tech is actually well within that game. It's actually a little bit of that's a good thing for Hutch Tech, keeping Lancaster within 8 points.
And right here is a 6-point game with exactly 4 minutes left in the half. 20-14 in favor of the Franklinville-Ellicottville Titans. Shotgun formation. Here's a snap. Marsh wants to throw again. He's going to shoot it deep on the right side of the field, going for Granols again, and this time he can't quite make the catch. A beautifully thrown ball, but it just went through Granols' hands.
He rolled out to his left. He had the space. He had the time and the ball when the ball left. You could see it. You saw the receiver alter his course, almost slant back in. Just missed it. I mean, just in between his hands, and that's gonna happen.
And so far, it's been a tale of 2 different offenses, like you've said earlier. Randolph mainly doing the ground and pound, and so far the Titans going with something a la Air Coryell of the 1980s Chargers. But right now we've got a trips right, 1 receiver to the left, and there's 2 slot receivers, 1 back in the backfield. And we got a flag. It's going to be a false start. It looked like the lineman who jumped was trying to communicate the snap count probably. Sometimes when you're in a huddle, sometimes the snap count does get forgotten or it gets mistaken for if 1 hut ahead or 1 hut behind. That does happen sometimes.
It does.
And that could be a big 5-yard penalty as it makes it a 2nd down and 15. But with 3:53 left in the first half, the score 20-14 as both teams will approach the sidelines, and the referees are having a conference right now.
A lengthy one.
I'm wondering if they're maybe going to pick up the flag. Not too certain, but yeah, it's been picked up.
They're picking up the flag. Okay.
It may have been a misjudging of what that lineman was doing. He was trying to communicate the play with one of his fellow linemen, and nobody was even set yet. When everyone's set and that happens, then a false start usually does get enforced. But no linemen on the offense were set. None of them were ready. So it is a picked up flag. It will remain 2nd down and 10.
Which is big for Franklinville, for the Titans. Because instead of 2nd and 15, it's 2nd and 10. But with Lucas Marsh as the quarterback, that's a big difference. But Marsh isn't incapable of getting 50. We saw him throw for 20, 60, 40, 50 yards already in this game. He has the arm to do it.
He's on pace to reach 300 yards passing. The last game we did, the Jamestown Orchard Park game, starting quarterback for Orchard Park, he had more than 300 yards passing in the 38-27 loss versus Jamestown, but it was still a great performance on Gosella's behalf. 2nd down 10, shotgun formation, and it's going to be a swing pass to Granols, and breaking a couple tackles. There's a flag on the play. I'm wondering, from that vicinity, it might be that pass interference when a receiver throws a pick on a defensive back. Those have been cracked down on very much in high school, college, and the pro levels. Nope, it's going to be a holding against the Titans. I thought there was going to be a false start because from my view, it looked like Hunter Smith jumped just before the snap came off. It looked like it was going to be a false start, but it's going to be a holding, a 10-yard penalty, and now it's going to be 2nd and 20. But with Marsh's arm, if you get at least half the yardage, you should be all right.
Exactly, and, I mean, the Titans have got it done through the air. Clock's going to go ahead and start here.
3:46 and counting left in the half. 20-14 in favor of the Franklinville-Ellicottville Titans, as they're going to have a trips right, one receiver to the left. Marsh checking the play on his wristband. In the shotgun formation, he's got 2 slot receivers on the right side. And now it's going to be an empty backfield with Granoles in motion, takes a snap.
They had Marsh run that play, try to do a QB draw.
I'm not sure what was going on, but it looked like a busted play. It's going to be 3rd down and long. Looks like it was a 2-yard gain according to the spot on the scoreboard.
So the Titans, 5 carries, Norm, 2 yards.
Which is why they've mainly gone in the passing game. If one of the things is working well, if it's not broke, don't fix it.
Especially when Lucas Marsh is your quarterback.
And he's also shown the mobility as well. He had nearly 200 scrimmage yards against Lackawanna last week. He's going to go under center here, man in motion, and it's going to just be a simple handoff. And it looks like that may have gotten back to the line, maybe a 1-yard gain if he's lucky. It looked like that run was again by Swalsey.
Timeout Randolph. It's going to be a 1-yard gain.
And with them calling timeout, we'll take a quick break ourselves with a triple deuce, 2:22 left in the first half, 20-14 favor of the Titans. You're watching this matchup between Franklinville, Ellicottville, and Randolph right here on WNY Athletics.
When it's time to sell your home, start with a visit to howardhanna.com, ranked the #1 real estate site for sellers. A few clicks will show you the sales price you can expect for your home. We can get you the most money in the quickest amount of time because we know where the local buyers are and how to reach them. So if it's time to sell your home, visit howardhanna.com today, and we'll match you with a local Howard Hanna agent to sell your home fast.
I love being home.
At Cairo First Wellness, your health and well-being is our passion. Let us take care of you and your family like one of our own.
Cairo First Wellness Center is dedicated to providing patients long-term relief and teaching them how to continue taking care of themselves.
And we're about to resume play right here, right now. It's going to be a punt here for the Franklinville-Ellicottville Titans, and the 2 deep men are again going to be Birch and Hine. Here comes the punt. That's by Nuzzo. And it's a nice punt, a knuckleballer. It gets fielded there by Hine. He will swing it over to the right side. He gets the 40, picks up a block by Padgett, and he gets it to around the 44, 45-yard line. So it's going to be good field position here for the Cardinals, and with 2:10 left in the half, they have a chance to at least tie this game before halftime.
Yeah, they got plenty of time. And then you got a whole nother half. You have another 24 minutes behind it. Randolph needs to start going back to what they got him, the 2 touchdowns, and that's on the run, winning in the trenches, opening up the holes for Hind. And, I mean, reread this Ellicottville, Franklinville defense.
And Randolph's going to be in the shotgun formation, and Padgett is the only back beside Conley. And here's a snap. Conley wants to get it through the air. He's looking, stays in the pocket. Now he'll roll outside. He's going to throw it to the right side of the field. Incomplete. I almost thought there was going to maybe be a flag on that, but it was intended for Huntington, and I believe there was no flag because Huntington did appear to lose his balance and slip when he was running his route.
Fredonia 14, Allegheny Limestone 13. Southwestern and Salamanca tied at 0 still. Update from Faulkner, it is actually 35-0 in the half.
Wow. But Randolph breaks the huddle here. It's going to be 2nd down and 10 at the 45. 2:04 left in the first half, and again, Paget, the only back beside Conley, and Hind is lined up at receiver, and there's a trips on the opposite end. And this is going to be a give to Paget. He'll cross midfield. He'll get about 5-6 yards on the run. It'll be third and manageable with less than 2 minutes left in the half. And with the clock ticking and ticking, you should throw it at least 1 or 2 more times, even though the running game has been doing so well. But the Titans have shown they can stop it when they've needed to.
Yeah, I mean, the defense has tightened up a lot better. They're reading the plays a lot quicker than they did in the first quarter.
It's going to be wide receiver stacks on both sides, and Conley wants to throw. Stays in the pocket, looking. He'll just lob a screen, and that's going to be caught by Huntington, but he's only going to get a yard. It's going to make it 4th down and 4. And with it being at the 49, I would not be surprised if Randolph chooses to go for it here. Unless they do choose to punt, because Huntington is the punter and he's on the field.
Looks like they're going to... It's 4th and 4.
And we got 1 minute left in the half.
Yep. You got 1 minute left. Hind.
They're going to punt.
Okay.
Huntington's back around to 39, and we've got the William Matar on the board. 4th and 4 at the 44 here with 48 seconds left in the half. No return guy. They're going to try and rush. Here's the punt by Huntington. And this one is a knuckleballer on the right side. Bounces to the 20, to the 15, to the 10. And it looks like it'll stop at around the 8 or 9 yard line. So another good punt by Huntington. And I do believe the Titans will just knee the ball because they do get it to start the second half. Take a knee, go into halftime with a 6-point lead, 20 unanswered points, and all in the second quarter. You shut out Randolph in the quarter and just go with the lead, and with the ball start half number 2 and get a possible 2-score lead when that starts.
Yeah. I mean, what else can you say? So something I've noticed is that defensive front, again, Tom Prince is going to really like me because, again, here we are talking about the trenches as the Titans are going to go into victory formation to end this first half. But Franklin Elkaville's beating the offensive line of Randolph. They're beating them in the trenches, Norm. And Conley is uncomfortable, so he's being rushed when he tries to throw.
And looks like they don't have to run another play, and this is going to be the end of the first half. It's 20-14 in favor of Franklinville-Ellicottville as we are about to hit halftime. But to all the viewers watching at home, stick around. There is going to be a halftime show. Jeremy's going to be running that, but I think I might stick around and have a little conversation with him as well, so that way it'll be a little more fun. But we've hit halftime. We're going to take a quick break. Stick around.
When it's time to sell your home, start with a visit to howardhanna.com, ranked the #1 real estate site for sellers. A few clicks will show you the sales price you can expect for your home. We can get you the most money in the quickest amount of time because we know where the local buyers are and how to reach them. So if it's time to sell your home, visit howardhanna.com today, and we'll match you with a local Howard Hanna agent to sell your home fast.
I love being home.
Are you in pain from a no-fault car accident? Don't wait. Call RES Physical Medicine and Rehab today and take advantage of our 24 to 48-hour appointment pledge. One of our medical professionals will see you within 48 hours. RES offers DXD imaging for a more accurate diagnosis in less time. This allows our doctors to coordinate the most effective treatment plan to get you on your way to recovery faster. Feel better with RES Physical Medicine and Rehab. Click or call today to learn more.
Paul Wolf Agency, how can I help?
I got a problem. I got a big problem. The house flooded overnight, everything's destroyed, and I don't know what to do.
You can relax. The wolf is on his way.
What's the damage?
It's bad.
As opposed to good? It's 20 minutes away. I'll be there in 10.
You're Teddy?
Yes, sir.
I'm Paul Wolf. I solve problems.
Oh, good, because I got a big one in here.
May I come in?
Absolutely.
Mr. Wolf, can I get you a cup of coffee?
Why do you exercise? To look better? To feel better? To drop a few pounds? To train for an event? To defy age? or to keep your ability to say yes to the things you love to do. Whatever motivates you, G&G Fitness Equipment is here to get you there. Treadmills, ellipticals, rowers, bikes, home gyms, and accessories. We'll pair you with the right equipment, teach you how to use it, and be there every step of your fitness journey. G&G Fitness. Your goal is our goal.
Media is a locally owned and operated multi-purpose media company right here in Western New York. You'll find us everywhere, covering the Bills, Sabres, Buttes, Bisons, Big Four basketball, local college sports, and much more. Our staff offers a variety of media services, from video production, live event coverage, audio broadcasts, professional voiceovers, camera operation, and videography. Visit www.300levelmedia.com or give us a call at 716-427-2600. This is 300 Level Media.
Why do you...
At Cairo First Wellness, your health and well-being is our passion. Let us take care of you and your family like one of our own.
Cairo First Wellness Center is dedicated to providing patients long-term relief and teaching them how to continue taking care of themselves. With a blend of different techniques, services, and personalized treatment plans, we'll help you find wellness in a way that's right for you. Between chiropractic care, spinal decompression, nutritional counseling, massage therapy, custom orthotics, and more, your relief is in our hands. If twisting, popping, and cracking intimidate you, our Pro Adjuster restores the same range of motion as a physical adjustment would with gentle, repeated tapping.
Dr. Mo at Cairo First has been taking care of my back needs for the past 4 years. His staff treats you like family. I've had the traction, I've had the massage done, and every time leave here feeling fresh and brand new.
Cairo First Wellness Center. Your health and well-being. Our passion.
Logistics Plus is consistently recognized as a fast-growing transportation and logistics company, great supply chain partner, top freight broker, leading project cargo manager, and a great place to work. With a strong passion for excellence, our 500-plus employees put the plus in logistics. Call our Buffalo office today for an efficient, personal approach for all of your transportation needs. WNYathletics.com is the premier high school sports website in Western New York, providing the best sports coverage of Section 6 and Monsignor Martin leagues. Check out our page for daily game recaps and late-breaking sports news. Our online scoreboards are updated in real time. Never miss a goal or touchdown. Visit WNYathletics.com today or follow us on Twitter, like us on Facebook, and subscribe to our YouTube.
And welcome to the Jeremy Becker's halftime show here on Western New York Athletics. And my friend and also colleague Norm Rodriguez is joining me. Currently, it is 2014 Titans over the Cardinals. So far, the Titans over in the air, 159 yards, a 1.857 complete percentage, 7 rush yards, 1 yard attempt, 166 total yards. Randolph, 179 total yards, 148 on the ground, and then Conley's 2 for 5 with 31. But really, that story so far this game is that second quarter, Norm.
Yeah, the second quarter was very big for the Franklinville-Ellicottville Titans. They were down 14-0 at the end of the first quarter, and Randolph did a masterful job on their first drive of the game. They just picked everything apart like a surgical technician, and they burnt off 7.5 minutes of clock. They scored a touchdown, forced a 3-and-out on the defensive end, and then Hines got another touchdown on his behalf, his 4th of the year already, making it 14-0. But then here comes the second quarter, and Marsh throws 3 touchdown passes in that quarter. One of them was a 60-yarder, and that was to Logan Granoles, and he also threw touchdown passes to Blake Frank. The one to Blake Frank was a nice catch. It was a jump ball to the quarter in the end zone, and the other one was to John Nuzzo.
I believe Frank had 2 touchdowns in this game, Norm. One on the ground and both in the air. And then
And I believe it was to 3 different receivers.
Okay. Well, anyways, are you ready to hear some scores throughout Western New York?
Lay it on me, Jeremy. Lay it on
All
me.
right. Right now, it's tied like a knot at 7 between Pioneer and East Aurora Holland. Iroquois dominating Tonawanda 33-0. Akron up Alden 34-0. St. Mary's 33. Eden North Collins 3. TPU and Springville tied like at nothing. Hopefully get us a score here at Western New York Athletics. Also get us a score for Chautauqua Lake, Guanda Pine Valley, tied at nothing. This is a close game between Fredonia and Allegheny Limestone Class C, 14-13. It is 0-0 Southwestern Salamanca.
I'm surprised at that because Southwestern, their offense runs like a cash register. I'm also seeing that Silver Creek is either down or lost their game 21-0.
They're losing at the half, 35-0. Norm, that's an updated score.
Oh, and
CSP.
Sorry.
Yep, that's all right. CSP 32, Cattaraugus Little Valley 6. Tomorrow's games, Dunkirk will be visiting Lakeshore. Western New York Maritime will be at Canisius. Holy Trinity will be facing St. Joe's. These two teams, respective last week opponents. Lackawanna is at JFK. Portville will be at Timon. Medina will be at Newfane. Wilson will be at Cleveland Hill. Lockport at Kenmore West. Kellenberg at St. Francis. And then, Norm, to recap yesterday's scores. Sweet Home just beating Niagara Wheatfield 24-14, so not that big of a loss. Kenmore East lost to North Tonawanda 36-23, and shout out to my girlfriend who is from North Tonawanda. She was really happy from that. Cheektowaga just hammered home against Brigard 40-0. We had two postponements in this week. Star Point versus McKinley canceled. RBL versus Lewiston postponed. 21-6 Lancaster, Section 6 Class AA champions, lead Hutch Tech 21-6. Bennett just giving it to Williamsville North 38-7. Clarence shutting out Niagara Falls 21-0. Orchard Park 35-0 over Grand Island.
And here's your alum, Jeremy. Jamestown, they're ahead 27-13 over Williamsville South. I'm predicting Butera's having a great follow-up game last week against Orchard Park. He ran for 339 yards and 6 touchdowns. And his final touchdown was a big one. A bad bounce on a kickoff by Caleb Bain. Deflected off a returner's leg in the front side. Bain recovered it. Butera took it to the house. 38-27 final score.
Frontier is leading West Seneca West 14-12. This is Frontier's first year in Class Single A, which is going to renew next week at Strider Field. Frontier and Jamestown's rivalry.
And we're going to be there next Friday as we will be doing the Jamestown home games. But to get a prediction here in the second half, I think it's going to be somewhat similar. I do believe that the Titans will stick with the pass game, but they do got to get the run game going as well, because should the passing game get stalled by Randolph's defense and you're not being able to run the ball, it's going to be like your feet trapped in cement when it's already been hardened.
Exactly. You got nowhere to go. And we've seen it already. Conley is 2 for 5 for 31 yards, but that's because by the time he gets the ball and gets set, the defense of Franklinville and Elkinville is already right there. They're already past the trenches, and they're coming right for the headquarters, right to the QB.
They haven't been full, and it looked like one of the last ones he threw was a screen attempt, but it was just read too good by the Titans defense. And both teams, again, coming in 1-0, what you were saying with the JFK and Lackawanna game. Speaking of coincidence, like you were saying, the Titans, they were the team that played Lackawanna. They beat them 28-16 in their first game of the year. And Randolph, they shut out JFK 47-0. And right now they're about to be playing each other coincidentally.
Yeah. So that's going to do it for the halftime show here at Western New York Athletics, live from Randolph Central School District in Randolph, New York. We will be right back with the start of the second half.
When it's time to sell your home, start with a visit to howardhanna.com, ranked the #1 real estate site for sellers. A few clicks will show you the sales price you can expect for your home. We can get you the most money in the quickest amount of time because we know where the local buyers are and how to reach them. So if it's time to sell your home, visit howardhanna.com today, and we'll match you with a local Howard Hanna agent to sell your home fast.
I love being
Are you in pain from a no-fault car accident? Don't wait. Call RES Physical Medicine and Rehab today and take advantage of our 24 to 48-hour appointment pledge. One of our medical professionals will see you within 48 hours. RES offers DXD imaging for a more accurate diagnosis in less time. This allows our doctors to coordinate the most effective treatment plan to get you on your way to recovery faster. Feel better with RES Physical Medicine and Rehab. Click or call today to learn more.
Paul Wolf Agency, how can I help?
I got a problem. I got a big problem. The house flooded overnight, everything's destroyed, and I don't know what to do.
You can relax. The wolf is on his way.
What's the damage?
It's bad.
As opposed to good? It's 20 minutes away. I'll be there in 10.
You're Teddy?
Yes, sir.
I'm Paul Wolf. I solve problems.
Oh, good, because I got a big one in here.
May I come in?
Absolutely. Mr. Wolf, can I get you a cup of coffee?
Why do you exercise? To look better? To feel better? To drop a few pounds? To train for an event? To defy age? Or to keep your ability to say yes to the things you love to do? Whatever motivates you, G&G Fitness Equipment is here to get you there. Treadmills, ellipticals, rowers, bikes, home gyms, and accessories. We'll pair you with the right equipment, teach you how to use it, and be there every step of your fitness journey. G&G Fitness. Your goal is our goal.
At Cairo First Wellness, your health and well-being is our passion. Let us take care of you and your family like one of our own.
Cairo First Wellness Center is dedicated to providing patients long-term relief and teaching them how to continue taking care of themselves. With a blend of different techniques, services, and personalized treatment plans, we'll help you find wellness in a way that's right for you. Between chiropractic care, spinal decompression, nutritional counseling, massage therapy, custom orthotics, and more, your relief is in our hands. If twisting, popping, and cracking intimidate you, our Pro Adjuster restores the same range of motion as a physical adjustment would with gentle, repeated tapping.
Dr. Mo at Cairo First has been taking care of my back needs for the past 4 years. His staff treats you like family. I've had the traction, I've had the massage done, and every time leave here feeling fresh and brand new.
Cairo First Wellness Center. Your health and well-being. Our passion.
And we're about to momentarily start the second half here at Randolph High School in Randolph, New York. And after a 14-0 lead to end the first quarter for Randolph, the Franklinville-Elkville Titans went on a rampage in the second quarter. 20 unanswered points, 3 touchdown passes in the quarter by Lucas Marsh, and it's 20-14 in favor of the Titans. And before we talk more about the game, I got to say this, because from the commercial, I know Frank will be proud of me of this, the Paul Wolf Agency commercial, that's actually a parody of the Quentin Tarantino movie Pulp Fiction, when Winston Wolfe comes in and helps out John Travolta and Samuel L. Jackson from something bad. That's all I'm going to say, something bad. It's near the tail end of the movie. I'd recommend it. It's very good. But in the movie, it's Winston Wolfe, and it's spelled it's spelled the same, W-O-L-F.
Not W-O-L. Sorry.
No, you're right. And he was played by Harvey Keitel, and it was near the last 20, 25 minutes in the movie. But it was spelled like the animal.
Okay. Just like Paul and Frank Wolf. They're both spelled like their last names are spelled like the animal. But, again, Norm, you are a much more avid movie watcher than I am. I like to spend my time watching sports highlights, and this game has been a highlight reel.
Yes, it has. And I'm anticipating more in the second half. And the good thing for the Titans is they do get the ball to start the second half because they won the toss and deferred, let Randolph have it first.
We got a little weekend action going on.
Yep. Blinded by the lights.
Yep.
Blinding lights. And it's a lot of critics say this is like similar to sounding of something from the Thriller era of Michael Jackson.
Yeah, I can hear it.
I can kind of catch it with the keyboards and the drum beat.
But you know a fun fact about this song? It was the official song of WrestleMania 36.
I knew that.
So,
and he also performed in the last Super Bowl, too. Mm-hmm. But right now, it's going to be some warm-up action right now. The Titans are out there doing some high leg kicks, one of the most common drills in football prior to the start of a game.
Yep.
And they're going to come in looking for start the second half with your favorite saying. Should they get 8 points on this first drive? The aforementioned, the myth, the legend, and one of the most common things that's said whenever we commentate games together, the double up.
We'll save that call for if it happens, Norm.
Well, it's not like a no-hitter or a 300 or
I know.
or there's a jinx.
Oh, you brought up the 300.
Hey, we're not bowling right now. We're good.
I wish we were. I'm just kidding. I'm glad we're here in Randolph Central School.
Getting to call some football.
Man, it's a great night, but it's also cold. Like, is it just me? Or here in Western New York, it hit September, and all of a sudden someone turned down the heat.
Or maybe turn down the thermostat.
Yeah.
Who touched my thermostat? But Randolph's players are now on the field as well. Again, the score 20-14 to viewers that are just beginning to tune into this game. And we've got some very good sponsors here tonight, and one of them was Howard and Hannah. That was one of the big ones for this game, and I know there was some other ones that Frank was mentioning prior to the start of this game, and there's a few more besides Howard and Hannah.
Yep, there is Logistics Plus of Buffalo, Ad Pro Sports, and G&G Fitness.
We can never forget Ad Pro Sports. We got the good pullovers, the fleeces, the shirts.
I think we're wearing the vest right now.
We are wearing the vest. The vest is the most comfortable.
These are very comfortable, Norm. I love them. And yes, for your viewers at home, I did just drop my voice into my public address voice. So
yeah, because with your public address, you gotta kind of talk like this.
You do.
You and I both have plenty of experience in that.
Yep, I spent all summer with a developmental league team doing baseball public address. But I'm back on color. Norm is doing what he's best at, telling great jokes and calling a great game.
And what's funny is when you're talking about that baseball team, I was part of it too, albeit it was for 107.9 WRFA. Got to work with Jason Sample, which was a lot of fun. I hope the program does come back next season. It was a great year. I enjoyed it very much, and once the season ended, I was bummed out because I wish there would have been one or two more games, because the last game, it felt like the beginning just started 24 hours ago.
Yeah.
That's how fast it
went. The season, I mean, it was a crazy start for me at the helm of the public address, but we got through it. Franklin Ellicottville Titans will start with the ball as they won the first half coin toss and deferred to the second half. So they, again, like Norm said, they have a chance to extend that lead to the so sweet call that I love so much.
But Randolph, they're about to get their kickoff team on the field. Titans with an opportunity to make this a two-score game, and that's why a lot of the times deferring is not such a bad idea, because if you're behind and you defer, you can get the ball to start the second half and cut the deficit down, or if you're ahead, like Franklin-Ellicottville is, they can extend their lead.
We got an update from Orchard Park. It is Orchard Park 35, Grand Island 8. So the goose egg is off the board.
Speaking of Grand Island, they nearly played Jamestown earlier this year and last season for high school football, but they came up short against South Park, and that's who they ended up playing. And I'm sure a lot of viewers that remembered watching it, and a lot of Jamestown fans, they came up short in overtime on a 2-point conversion in overtime. Final score of that was 30-29. But right now we have got the Franklinville-Ellicottville Titans and the Randolph Cardinals here as we're about to start half number 2, and it's going to be Carpenter kicking it off. And away we go for the second half. And a nice kick, a line driver in the middle of the field. That's a live ball, and that does get recovered by Bilecki. And he will go to the center of the field. He gets brought down at around the 22, 23-yard line. Brought down by a group of defenders. Some people like to call that terminology a campfire.
I can see why, Norm. Stacked up like a campfire.
And it'll be first down and 10 for the Titans, and it looked like it was at around the 21, maybe the 22. It'll all depend on the spot. And it looks like it's going to be the 23, 24, so some forward progress. And this is a big opportunity here for the Titans, and they need to take advantage of this. and Marsh will be under center to start the second half. It's going to be a 3-wide set. Fake handoff, stays in the pocket. Marsh looking, and he's going to get sacked. Sacked right away on the play, and that was their kickoff guy, Ryan Carpenter, with the sack, and a big way to start the second half for Randolph. They needed some momentum, and that sack could be just what the doctor ordered.
Exactly. Their defense was unable to stop Marsh on the entire second quarter, come out strong after halftime. That's exactly what the doctor ordered, Norm. So that's going to be about a loss of 10.
It looked like about 9 yards from my view. We'll just have to. It was 8-yard loss. 9. It got updated, so it'll be a 9-yard loss. That's the first sack of the game by the Randolph defense. It'll be a 2nd and 19, and there's going to be a stack receiver on the left side, 1 wide out on the right, 2 backs. Marshall return to the shotgun formation. And he takes a snap, and he wants to throw. Looking. He's going to shoot this one downfield, and that's going to be incomplete. That was intended for Blake Frank, but it was just way overthrown. It almost looked like a pop fly the center fielder could have caught in the outfield.
Oh, that analogy came out of left field.
Oh, what a pun. But right now, 3rd and 19 at the 12. A 3-and-out force here by Randolph would be very important. But we have seen the Titans convert on 3rd and long already before.
I believe that conversion also led to a touchdown.
Yes, it did.
That was the 6-yarder pass, wasn't it?
Yes, it was a 60-yard pass. That was to Logan Granoles. And right now, this is a 3rd and 19. We've only got 70 seconds played in the third quarter, excuse me. 1 minute and 10 seconds, so 10:50 left in the third. And Marsh looking over what he wants to use. He's got one of those wristbands that's been popular for the last 25, 30 years, but shotgun formation, snap. And it's going to be a give. Oh, and that wasn't him at quarterback as the runner got stopped right away. That was John Nuzzo who took that snap. I'm wondering if that was possibly a special formation for him to use or maybe to give Marsh a breather, but nonetheless, it's going to be a 3-and-out, and Randolph has a chance to tie this game.
Norm, they don't only have a chance to tie this game, they have a chance to take the lead.
Yes, they do. I'm just saying the bare minimum.
Yep, the bare minimum. Well, the bare minimum is they cut the deficit down to 3 with a field goal.
I don't think they'll kick a field goal. They're the team that loves to go for it from what we're seeing. And there's nothing wrong with that either, as it'll be Nuzzo punting the ball. Low snap, but he's able to get it. Here comes the kick. Oh, and that kick's a beauty. And that's going to go over the head of Hind. Rolls to the 35. Picked up at around the 32. And going around the right side of the field, picks up a blocker, and he'll get hit by the punter out of bounds near midfield. What a job by Nuzzo to pick up the bad snap. He booted it, and that was a 52-yard punt, but that was a great return there by Hind after letting that roam about another 15 yards.
That was a beautiful punt. And I thought he was going to be met right there, but no, he had a lot of room to run. Then he broke some tackles on top of it.
There are punters and kickers that are not afraid to tackle. But it's going to be under center Conley. Here's a snap, and it's going to be it's a give to Padgett, and he'll get it to around midfield, it looks like. And that formation almost looked like similar to what the Navy midshipmen run when they play football. They're known to run the triple I formation and the triple option. That's pretty much what it looked like with that handoff to Padgett.
Yep, that was a 3-yard gain by Padgett. So far, Randolph has 20 rushing attempts.
That's 4 times the pass attempts, if you want to call that a quadruple up.
You very well could.
But it'll be a 2nd down, 7 at the 48. They are in Titans territory. Conley will be under center. I formation. It's another give to Padgett. It's a pitch on the option. And that faked me out for sure as Hind gets it to about the 46. And that's a trick even Houdini could have done successfully. That was some good deception, but the defense on the right side, they were on the pursuit. They were not fooled.
No,
just a 3-yard gain. So it'll be a 3rd and 5 at the Titans 45. This would be 4-down territory for Randolph if they chose to go for it.
I would say if they were a little closer. I don't see them going for it on 4th and 5.
formation. It's going to be another give to Hind. He's got the first down and more. Pounding the rock to the 35, down to the 33. Mark that as a 12-yard run, and that's more than enough for a Cardinal first down. And they are threatening to score again. They gave up 20 points in the second quarter. They didn't score once in it. And they're starting this drive with a chip on their shoulder because of that, from what we're seeing. As Jeremy got a little bugged by a fly, no pun intended, if you heard a clapping sound in the background.
Yeah, sorry about that. That was right near my eyeball.
Right now, I formation again. This is a give to Paget. Pounding that rock. Gets it to the 25. And just like Dobosh for Orchard Park, he's looking like Mike Allstott running that ball, like when he was with Tampa Bay, pounding that rock. And another guy that was like that, familiar because you're a Steelers fan, Cameron Hayward's father, Craig Hayward. He used to do that a lot too.
What a legend.
He was also known as Ironhead.
Ah.
Because he wore a big size hat. I believe it was like a size 14, 15, but nonetheless, he'll be second in a yard. It's going to be a give to Hind again, and he breaks some tackles, and he's going to go in easily for a touchdown. He went in virtually untouched. Second touchdown in the game for Hind, and that's going to tie the game at 20, not to mention the NBC special 2020, but we are tied like that, 7:24 left in the third, and they're going to go for 2 here to take the lead, but should they fail it, if that occurs, I'm sure the Titans will be content with it just being a tie.
Yeah.
Behind now with well more than 100 yards rushing this evening. And here comes a 2-point try, I formation, and it's going to be a give to Hind again. And he's going to walk in, and the Cardinals reclaim the lead 22-20 with 7:24 left in the third quarter. And the Titans are going to prepare to get the ball back.
Yeah, so really, really aggressive play calls there for Randolph that paid off. They came out with a chip on their shoulder. And this is probably going to come down to, Norm, who has the ball last?
Yes, that's what I'm thinking. But both special teams are about ready to get on the field.
Got 7:24 remaining left in this third quarter.
And the kickoff team is there for Randolph. We're just waiting for the one for the Titans.
Welcome back to football, fans. The pros do start on actually started last night. And anyways, here comes the return team for the Titans.
And it's going to be Carpenter again on the kickoff, as he is for them regularly. And the deep men, they are back at around the 11-yard line. And they are Bilecki and Granoles. Here comes the kick. And this one's another beauty. Right down Broadway. Gets fielded there by Bilecki. And he will sweep it over the right side, find some room, gets tackled at the 30. And he was brought down by Paget. So good field position to start off here on this drive for the Titans. And they have to get a touchdown right here. 22-20. Yes, it's only a 2-point deficit, but right now Randolph's got the momentum.
Momentum is such a funny thing, isn't it?
Big Mo can be an evil person.
Big Mo swings like a pendulum.
But here we go. 1st and 10, ball spotted at the 31-yard line after that return by Bo Bilecki. Marsh is going to be in the shotgun formation. Or wait a minute, I believe it's going... No, it's going to be Nuzzo taking the snaps. I wonder, unless they're deciding to shift it out a little bit, but it's going to be a trips right, one receiver left, and Nuzzo's going to keep it on the formation. He gets to the 35, gets tackled down to 37, and I think that might just be a special formation for Nuzzo to either run the ball himself, or if he sees an open guy, pass it. Something similar to Wildcat, like what the Buffalo Bills did when they had Brad Smith on the team back in the early 2010s. because he was a quarterback in college and they utilized him for it.
We saw the Wildcat last week.
With Jalen Butera.
Yep, with Jalen Butera against Orchard Park.
Scored 2 touchdowns and a 2-point conversion off it. That was a gain of 6 yards on the run. It'll be 2nd and 4 to 36, and this might be a thing for them to boost the running game. But right now it's a 2-back, 3-wide set. Here's the snap. It's going to be another handoff, and this one was to number 36, Hunter Smith, but he gets stopped right away. He'll be lucky if he got back to the line of scrimmage.
From our vantage point, it looks like he lost 1 yard.
It's been labeled, or it's been officially ruled no gain. It'll be 3rd down and 4. They've got to convert this here as we're about to hit the halfway point of the 3rd quarter. 6 minutes left in it. 22-20, Randolph reclaimed the lead with Hines' 2nd touchdown of the night, and he also scored the go-ahead 2-point conversion. It's going to be an I formation, and it's going to be Nuzzo. It's a fumble on the play, and that's going to be recovered clearly by Randolph. And it looked like Nuzzo had the handoff to the back perfectly, but just couldn't get a hold of it.
Yeah, and I'm not sure if they're not wanting to pass, but Nuzzo's been, I think he took 3 consecutive snaps.
He's taking the last 3, 4, and there's a player gipping off the field for the Titans. That was Christian Swalsey.
Well, Swalsey was able to get up under his own power and hobble off the field, so we hope he's okay.
Yeah, from my determination, it looks like either a possible ankle sprain or a cramp. There were quite a few of those when we were at Jamestown last week because even though it was nighttime, it was humid.
Oh, my goodness. 42-0. Falconer, Casadega Valley, Maple Grove over Silver Creek.
That is, I'm surprised, but good for Falconer. Oh, the throwdown tackle on the carry by Hine. That's going to be a 15-yard penalty, and it looked like that was Joe Conlon that did that. Those body slam tackles, those are a big no-no.
So it would have been 2nd down and 1.
But instead it'll be 15 yards tacked on after the run.
Oh,
no, it's going to be a holding. I thought that was going to be a personal foul on that tackle because those usually get they get laid down on hard. It's going to be a hold on Randolph, but this could be a break here for the Titans. It makes it a 1st and 20. So they do need to get a stop right here. Conley under center, I formation. It's going to be a give to Hind, and Hind will get it inside the 40 to around the 37-36. So that'll be about an 8-yard gain. It'll make it 2nd down and 12.
29 rushing yards, or 29 rushing attempts, 205 yards. They average about 7 yards a carry, Norm.
That's a little more than 7 yards a carry.
Just a little bit more, 7.07.
And Randolph breaks the huddle under 5 minutes left in the 3rd, and Randolph's they have had control of this whole 3rd quarter thus far. It's going to be another give to Hind. Hind cuts it to the center of the field, breaks a couple of tackles, but he gets it to about the 24-23. That'll make it a 3rd down and 4. This is definitely 4-down territory here for Randolph should they not convert this 3rd down, but they've been very successful at it this evening. So it's been ruled a 7-yard run. It'll be a 3rd down and 5. And Randolph will break the huddle. Conley under center. I formation again. It's going to be another give to Hind, and trying to pound it forward. He's fighting, but he's going to be a couple yards shy.
I think his forward momentum passed him. Yeah, gained him that 1st down as, from my vantage point, behind the producer's chair, conveniently enough. He's past the yard line marker. That's going to be, we're going to have a measurement.
Taking a measurement. From my view, it looked like he was about 2 yards short, but there's also forward progress, even if it looks like there's a bunch of tacklers blocking the view of the ball.
Right.
But it's going to be a measurement here.
So I believe his forward progress did carry him past the 1st down marker.
And Yep, that's going to be enough, I believe, by
Yes,
by
it
the
is.
nose of the ball.
Barely, Norm.
He barely got it.
That much. I mean, we're talking about the size.
Probably the size of a grain of sand.
I would say a
Or
grain of rice. Yeah, so it's first and 10.
So first and 10. They're at the 24-yard line of the Titans, and they have a shot to make this a two-possession game. 3:41 left and counting in the third. As the referee says, let the clock roll on.
Either there might be a mercy rule, but according to my source in Falconer, the game has become final between Falconer, Maple Grove, Castiga Valley, and Silver Creek, 42-0.
Wow, unless they decided to call it. That does happen sometimes. Conley's going to throw. He's going for the tight end, incomplete. That was intended for Huntington. And another one that would have been a tricky catch, but it was in the area where only Huntington would have been able to catch it.
Right.
But a small victory there for right now for the Titans, 2nd down and 10. Randolph is nearing the Titans' red zone.
And they're probably 5-10 yards out of field goal range for high school.
Not a lot of high school teams are known to utilize kickers for field goal attempts, but this will be a give to Hind, and he'll get it inside the 20 to about the 18, maybe 19, pending the spot, as we're about to hit 3 minutes left in the third.
Looks like a 3rd and 5 from our vantage point.
So it's going to be a 5-yard gain, 3rd down and 5, as we're under 3 minutes left in quarter number 3.
So Randolph went back to the run. What got them all their touchdowns. And Hind has stepped up in this third quarter.
Conley going to hand it off again to Hind. Hind's got a gap, gets to the center of the field, and he's brought down just short of the end zone. The touchdown-saving tackle was by Blake Frank. And with a little over 2.5 minutes left in the third, 22-20 the score in favor of Randolph, and they've got a chance to make this an 8-point game. It's going to be a 1st and goal at the 4. 14-yard run there by Hind, sorry.
Yep. 14 yards, 33 carries by Randolph, 236 yards.
It's going to be a 1st and goal at the 4. Once again, Randolph in that I formation. They've been using that for virtually the whole drive. It's another give to Hind, and he's got the hat trick. His 3rd touchdown of the game. 28-20 now to score. 2:04 left in the third quarter. 14 unanswered points by Randolph, and now they got a chance to make this a 10-point lead. The Titans need to stop this 2-point conversion.
Yeah, no. And again, so the trenches right there came into effect. The offensive line has opened up the holes for Hind, and Hind is seeing the field beautifully. And he's been able to get right in those holes before they get closed up. And he carried a couple defenders into the end zone with him in that rush.
Yeah, he did. But here comes a 2-point conversion try. And again, they're in that I formation. They've been using it the whole drive. Conley under center, and this is a give to, no, it's a fake option, and Hind's going to walk in standing up, and Conley, he faked the handoff to Padgett flawlessly, faked out the defense, pitched it over to Hind on the option, and he walks in for his second 2-point conversion of the game. A 10-point lead for Randolph, 30-20, 2:04 left in the third. And after being down 20-14 at halftime, they have outscored the Titans in the third, 16-0, as both return teams will prepare to get back onto the field.
Yeah, so Hind's having himself a game with 3 touchdowns. And a good chunk of these 236 yards.
I would say he's accounted for more than half of the rushing yards, for sure.
Easily.
But 30-20 now the score, 2:04 left in the third quarter, as both special teams units will prepare to get back onto the field.
Jamestown 27, Williamsville South 16. The Orchard Park score has stayed the same, 35-8. Frontier takes a 21-12 lead over West Seneca West. Hamburg 33, Williamsville East 7. South Park up over Amherst 20-8.
And with that, we're about to get the kickoff executed once again, and it's going to be Carpenter, who's been booting the ball very well in the kickoffs. Here's the next one, a line drive kick. Oh, mishandled there by Bilecki, but he's able to pick. No, yes, it is. And he finds a gap, and he's gone. He breaks loose. Midfield, 40, 30. Bye, birdie. Touchdown, Titans, 30-26, and what a turn of events. Bilecki pulls a Josh Cribbs on that return, botches the ball, picks it up, and he scores for a touchdown. What a play. Put that on your Sports Center top 10. Amazing.
I think we need to see that again, Norm.
Yes, we do.
That was an absolute beautiful run.
And a beautiful recovery as well, because Bilecki looked like he was doomed. But from my view, that looked like it was an 87, 88-yard kickoff return touchdown.
Off the muff.
30-26, and we have got a ball game. Or if I may borrow a line from Hawk Harrelson, the former broadcaster for the Chicago White Sox, you can put that 6 on the board? Yes! And it looks like they're going to go for 2 here to cut it down to 2. 1:49 left in the third off of that beautiful kick return touchdown by Bo Bilecki. It's going to be a 4-wide set, and the only back is going to be Bilecki. Man set in motion. And that's Granols. He's looking, and here comes the throw by Marsh. Looking, gets outside the pocket, still looking, throws, incomplete, intended for Frank, but a huge kick return touchdown.
That's gonna be he's ejected.
There's gonna be quite a few ejections, and not to bash anybody, things like this are uncalled for.
That will be number 26. Blake Frank will be ejected from this game,
and
as he should.
Randolph players will be 2 for the shoves.
The shoves, I think, will get penalized for. I'm going to say
I'm predicting
1.
At least 3 or 4.
I'm going to say only Blake gets ejected, but there's going to be a 15-yard penalty on Randolph for the shove.
I am blown away right now. I did not expect that. Wow.
That is totally uncalled for. I get you are battling. I get you're in the middle of competition, but you got to keep beating your coach. You really got to.
And the referee's going to have a conference, because I think there's going to be more than one. I'm thinking it could be 1 on each side, or it could be a little mix. We'll just have to wait and see. But even so, it is uncalled for. You cannot throw a punch. It's, like I said, I don't want to bash, but it's inexcusable.
He also threw his helmet, Norm.
That's automatic too, and this is going to be a very long back end for a kickoff.
Right.
And basically with that, I believe the Titans may have forfeited any momentum they got on that kick return touchdown by Bilecki. This is bad.
Especially because it's Frank who just got ejected, and he already has a touchdown in this game. We've called his name
he's
numerous.
had a great game.
Exactly.
And this is going to be a big loss because he is for sure ejected.
Yeah, the senior, the 6'2", 165-pound senior for the Titans. That is a huge loss. That's a loss of leadership. Again, he was tackled to the ground, but I believe that was just a battle.
Yeah,
you got to
that does happen.
Right, that happens. You got to keep your composure, Norm.
Well, I think the referees are going to indicate right now. I think they're going to go to both teams and tell the numbers on both sides, because I'm predicting there's going to be 3 or 4 ejections. But more often than not, the person that retaliates would just get a simple penalty and not get tossed. It would just be a regular personal foul.
Yeah, personal foul, unsportsmanlike conduct. However, Blake's going to get a personal foul, unsportsmanlike conduct, probably twice.
And if with 2, that's an ejection.
Mm-hmm.
And that's in high school, that's in college, and that's in pro football now. This is being cracked down hard. We'll just have to wait and see who's being tossed. But wow, the momentum that the Titans had on that kick return, I believe that has been fully dissipated with Frank's reaction from that incomplete pass.
Exactly. And if I'm the head coach of Franklinville, Ellicottville, I would not be happy with what Frank just did right there.
Honestly, I think both coaches should be unhappy. And if that's the case, I wouldn't blame either one of them one bit.
For Randolph, I wouldn't be happy that my players all of a sudden started storming down the field. I mean, you're trying to protect your guy, but...
Well, we're going to see right now. Sorry, Jeremy, for cutting you off, but it looks like the referee's going to indicate who's going to be staying in and who's going to be taking the pads off and hitting the showers.
Yep, you can see Blake right there. He's taken off his helmet. He's done.
And I'm sure he knew that. But and this is sad because Frank had an excellent performance prior to that. He scored one of the touchdowns in the second quarter with the 20 points they scored in it, the 20 unanswered. This is a moment where I wish the referee would have a microphone so we can know who's being tossed, so that way we can relay it to the viewers.
Exactly. So far, we positively know one player that's been ejected.
That's a for sure thing, irrefutable.
But we got to see who gets ejected for Randolph here, if anybody. It does not appear.
Looks like nobody. And if that's the case, I would not disagree to an extent because Frank insinuated it.
He did, and then what else is your sideline supposed to do when you see one of your teammates get clobbered in the head by a helmet?
It's like little brother. You got to back him up, but you got to handle it right. That's the thing.
Exactly. So no players will be ejected from Randolph. Just Blake.
I would guess just Frank, and that
Blake
surprises
Frank.
me because with big brawls like that, that's usually 2-3 players tops.
We do have this. I believe this is the ejection side of the high school, the X.
Personal foul, unsportsmanlike
conduct. Offense, number 26, and he's
That's
disqualified.
An ejection.
Yep.
And that's a big loss for the Titans, and that's bad. In spite of that, though, Marsh still has great receivers he can throw it to. John Nuzzo has a touchdown catch, and so does Granoles.
Yep,
so he can throw it to them guys, too.
Yep, so that's going to move back.
I would say the 20-yard line.
It looks like they're going to put the ball at the 25.
Wow. But what an unexpected turn of events here. A big momentum boost by the Titans, but then an overreaction on the 2-point attempt results in an ejection, and personally I'm bummed out. Like I said, Frank had a great game prior to being tossed.
Ooh, I just saw the score. Bennett, Williamsville North. 62-15 Bennett over Williamsville North.
Wow.
Clarence 41-0 over Niagara Falls.
So the kickoff will be at the 25-yard line, but the positive end, Bilecki, that nice kick return touchdown, cuts the deficit to 4. If you're the Titans, you need to get a 3-and-out forced on this next series right now, as it's going to be, once again, Joe Conlon kicking off, and he's been kicking off the ball pretty well. He might get a good kickoff here. Let's see. Oh, that one's a beauty. And that's going to be fielded around the 37-yard line behind. Gets to the 40, 45 to midfield, and into Titans territory. We may have another scrap here.
This game is getting...
This is starting to get out of hand. This needs to get resolved as soon as possible. You don't want it to get out of control to where the game gets called.
Exactly.
But they are in Titans territory, and that unsportsmanlike conduct penalty, just with that return, that's partially costly. Giving up a touchdown on it, my opinion, would compound it.
100%, 100%. Again, I'm surprised it wasn't really a flag at the end because Hind was held down by the defensive player.
Honestly, though, with a little over 90 seconds left in the third, I will predict when the quarter ends, the referees will have 2 go on one side, 2 on the other, and lay the hammer down because there was a lot of latitude prior to that.
I believe that's what's happening right now. I believe the ref is telling him to knock it off.
If that's the case right now, I don't blame them. They need to they're the ones calling the penalties and everything, and they have the right to eject a player, and they can also do it without issuing any warning.
Just like an umpire with balls and strikes in baseball.
Yes. But right now, I formation is going to be a give to Hind, and we have a flag. This is in the area of false start.
.135 left in this crazy third quarter. I mean, absolutely crazy. And they're picking up the flag.
Also, probably an inadvertent flag, so it'll be a replay of the down. And after that kickoff, it was Looney Tunes and Merry Melodies, or even those Monstars after when they lose their powers in Space Jam when they're like, can we go, please? Got to throw a little humor in there every once in a while. I formation here, and take 2, give to Hyde, and whoa! Went airborne and got thrown down on the carry, but he gets it to the 45-yard line. And it's going to be a second down short. I beg your pardon, it's going to be a 5-yard gain. It'll be a second down 5 with 1:09 left in quarter number 3, and in spite of the last 5-10 minutes of this game, besides that, it's been a shootout. It's another give to Hind, and Hind will take it inside the 40 to around the 37. More than enough for a Cardinals first down, and we have under 58 seconds left in the third, 57-3 if we would like to be technical. It is enough for a first down. Now the referee's saying, get the clock running. 30-26 in favor of Randolph. 1st and 10 at the Titans 42. Conley under center. I formation. It's going to be a give to Padgett. And Padgett, he'll get about 2, maybe 3 yards on the carry.
Actually, it looks like it's going to be, probably around 4.
It'll be spotted at roughly the 38. They're going to give him a 5-yard gain on that. It's going to be a second down 5, and that could be the last play of the third quarter. And I'm going to carry this over one more time. I do believe when the third quarter ends and before start of the fourth, I do think 2 of each ref will go to one side and 2 on the other and talk even further, not just with the players, but maybe with the coaches to try and diffuse any tension that's been going on, because the last 4 or 5 plays, it looks like it's going to be a big battle, and I wonder how the fourth quarter is going to be. I'm anticipating it's going to be trench warfare. That's what I'm thinking as we end quarter number 3 here at Randolph High School. Randolph ahead 30-26. You're watching this matchup between them and the Franklinville-Elkville Titans right here on WNY Athletics. Stick around for the fourth quarter.
When you're ready to buy a home, start with a visit to howardhanna.com. You can find new listings before they appear anywhere else and refine your search for immediate notifications of similar properties. Plus, get pre-qualified to make your offers stronger and connect with a local Howard Hanna agent who knows your area and how to close the deal. So when you're ready to buy, visit howardhanna.com and find your home fast.
I love being home.
And we're about to start quarter number 4 here at Randolph High School, and they are right now clinging to a 4-point lead, 30-26, and they are driving, and they're nearing the Franklinville-Elkville Titan red zone in what has been a battle back and forth, round and round we go.
Yeah, I mean, our camera operator, Jacob Filek, just came down and asked, is this Friday Night Football or Friday Night Lights?
Or maybe a little Friday Night Smackdown.
Exactly.
Friday Night Lights, that'd be cool, though, if we had, like, the Permian Tigers on one side and maybe a team like Dallas Carter on the other.
Yep, well, we got Fresh 12.
Yes, we do. I formation. Fumble! And that's a second fumble, and that's recovered clearly by the Titans. Padgett coughs it up. The second fumble of the game by Randolph, and the second one recovered by the Titans, and now this is their reprieve right here. They have to take advantage of this.
Yeah, no doubt about it. They have to kill clock too while doing it. You do not want to give Randolph the ball with plenty of time to come back and win this game.
Yeah, but so far, though, the run game for the Titans has been stagnant. They've been sticking with the pass game, and when Marsh has been out there, he has gotten it done.
Marsh is 7 for 14 for 149 yards. On the ground, they are 11 rushing attempts, 8 yards.
0.8 yards a carry, sorry.
0.73, Norm.
I was estimating.
If it was 10 for 8, then yeah, you would be right. But you one-off. It's okay. You've been hanging.
It happens.
You've been hanging around me too much with the one-off stuff.
That's a little inside joke, people.
All right,
but Marsh is back in at quarterback.
Good to see. Good to see.
It's going to be 4 wides. And a back. Marsh takes a snap, wants a throw. Looking, staying in the pocket. He'll run out, looking, bolts it, and that one is caught. I think he caught that. And I believe the referee is ruling that a catch. And that was a nice one. That was caught there by number 10, John Nuzzo. That almost looked similar to the one Jermaine Kearse had off his leg in the Super Bowl against New England.
However, do I see laundry on the field? I do see laundry on the field.
Oh, there's a flag? I didn't see one.
It is buried behind the defenders, and it's pass interference on the offense.
Wow. And I believe that might be on Nuzzo, but it's not the end of the world. 1st and 20. It's still first down. And Marsh, with the arm he's got, there's no reason why they can't get through this.
Exactly. 11:43 left.
And they're going to be backed up to the 15-yard line. And for right now, if I'm the Titans, I'd say stick with the throwing, and I'd say abandon the running game for a little bit for right now. It's not working. 11 carries, 8 yards. And the passing game's been so efficient. And Marsh is still out there, and here's what they're going to do. It's going to be a trip. Nope. It's going to be 2 wides on each side.
Empty backfield.
Okay, this will be an empty backfield. They've got their back end as an extra blocker. 1st and 20. Marsh takes a snap, looking to throw. He wings it downfield, going for it's caught! No, incomplete. That was intended for Granoles. Marsh went long on the play, but Granoles couldn't quite hold on. But that was where, again, only the receiver would have been able to catch it.
We do have an injured Cardinal on the field, so we will be going to break. You are watching the Randolph Cardinals take on the Franklinville-Ellicottville Titans here on Western New York Athletics. We'll be right back after this break.
Paul Wolf Agency, how can I help?
I got a problem. I got a big problem. The house flooded overnight, everything's destroyed, and I don't know what to do.
You can relax. The wolf is on his way.
What's the damage?
It's bad.
As opposed to good? It's 20 minutes away. I'll be there in 10.
You're Teddy?
Yes, sir.
I'm Paul Wolf. I solve problems.
Oh, good, because I got a big one in here.
May I come in?
Absolutely. Mr. Wolf, can I get you a cup of coffee?
And we are back. It's a 2nd down and 20 for the Franklinville-Ellicottville Titans. The person that was down the field was Jaden Huntington, but he was able to get up on his own power. From the way he was walking off the field, it looked like it was another one of those cramps.
We're hopeful it's a cramp because Huntington's been having one heck of a game as a punter. Pat McAfee would be proud.
All that Huntington would have to do now is just recover his own onside kick and hit somebody hard, and then he'd fully be Pat McAfee.
For the brand. 35-16 Jamestown.
Wow. But right now it's going to be a trips right, one receiver to the left, and one back and a single back for that. And it's going to be Marsh in the shotgun formation as he has been for most of the game. Takes a snap, looks to throw. He runs outside the pocket, looking, throws it down the field, and that's going to be incomplete. Almost got picked off there by Xander Hind, and that was intended for Bo Bilecki. It's going to be 3rd down and a country mile here for the Franklinville-Ellicottville Titans. They got to convert here.
Yeah, there's no doubt about it. You got to convert. So Lucas Marsh, who has an absolute cannon of an arm, is going to launch this ball a good 20, 25 yards deep.
And his receivers have speed. We have seen it.
Exactly. You get one receiver in the backfield, past the defenders, they're gone.
It's a 3rd down and 20 at the 15-yard line here for the Titans. It's going to be 4 wides, 2 slots, one on each side, and 2 receivers on each. Marsh takes a snap, and he wants to get it through the air. Looking. He's just going to throw it away. And, I thought that was incomplete, but it's going to be ruled a catch of Granoles. I thought he used the turf to trap the ball, but it's been ruled a catch. It's going to be about a 5-6 yard gain from my view, but it is going to be 4th down and long, and the Titans are too far in their own end to go for it. They have to punt this one away.
Yeah, you don't have a choice. So 4th and 15 here.
And the last punt by Nuzzo, I know you remember it. He had a bad snap, but he was able to get away, and he was able to boom a 52-yarder.
Exactly. So really, special teams playing a huge role in this game.
And they are in punt formation. And on that punt, Hine did have a nice return on it. And Padgett's going to be the other returner. They're both standing at around the 44-yard line. And here's the punt by Nuzzo. And this one, a flutterer. It bounces inside the 40. It goes past midfield. Very good bounce. Rolls to the 40 and to the 39-yard line. So it's going to be a 48-yard punt with the 8 of that bounce. And it's going to be first down and 10 for Randolph. And this is an opportunity for them to get this to a 2-score game again.
Yep, we have another Cardinal down.
It looks like it's another one with the cramps.
We're hopeful.
Days in September, though, that sometimes at night it does tend to get humid.
It gets humid, but it's like a cold humid, if that makes sense. It's 61 degrees right now, Norm.
And the coaches are starting to go onto the field as well. So with that, we will take another quick break. You're watching this matchup between the Randolph Cardinals and the Franklinville-Ellicottville Titans right here on WNY Athletics. Stick around.
When it's time to sell your home, start with a visit to howardhanna.com, ranked the #1 real estate site for sellers. A few clicks will show you the sales price you can expect for your home. We can get you the most money in the quickest amount of time because we know where the local buyers are and how to reach them. So if it's time to sell your home, visit howardhanna.com today, and we'll match you with a local Howard Hanna agent to sell your home fast.
I love being home.
At Cairo First Wellness, your health and well-being is our passion. Let us take care of you and your family like one of our own.
Cairo First Wellness Center is dedicated to providing patients long-term relief and teaching them how to continue taking.
And we're about to get back into action right here on WNY Flex along with Jeremy Becker. I'm Norm Rodriguez as Jake Fyack is up on the camera now for the rest of the game. So Jeremy's filling in on color, commentating here with me for the rest of the game as Randolph's in the I formation. It's going to be a handoff to Hind. He crosses the 40 and gets stopped at the 44-yard line. So another quality run by Xander Hind, and he's had a very strong performance. And should Randolph hold on to win this game, he'd be my vote for player of the game.
100%.
And the guy that was down, though, when we took a quick break, once again, that was Jaden Huntington. And like we talked about, in September sometimes at night, it does get a little humid, and sometimes the cramps do get to the calves and the ankles and the thighs. It is very common, but a timeout has been called by the Titans. But with 9:50 left in regulation, scores 30-26. We're not going to go to another break, but the Titans, they recovered a fumble by Padgett, but they weren't able to get anything off it. In the 3 plays they had -5 net yards, and luckily there was another nice punt there by John Nuzzo to put that ball back into the Cardinals' own territory. So that does assist it. But right now, they're now in Titans territory. And if they can turn this to a 2-score game again, and the way the offense has been kind of sputtering in the second half of the Titans, that could be an exclamation point. But there's still 9 minutes and 50 seconds left in this game.
Plenty of time. Yep. Clymer, Sherman, Panama, 59. Cattaraugus, Little Valley, 12.
Wow.
Just CSP, again, Jacob.
They're a strong team.
They are. And Jacob talked about this on top of the show, Norm. They went back to Class D.
Yes, they did.
So they're back in this division. We are covering Class D football right now.
Speaking of CSP, it was fun doing that playoff game between them and
the Randolph
Southwestern. That was an awesome game, though. And Southwestern pulled it off, but right now it's going to be 2nd and 5, I formation, give to Padgett again. And he's got the first down. He crosses midfield and gets to the 49.
It's going to be about a 5-yard gain exactly.
And regarding that Faulkner game, Jeremy, I was just given an update by our insider. It was a final with under 2 minutes left in the third, and it was either due to a mercy rule or the team decided to end the game early due to not having the strength in numbers.
Okay. So we'll just go ahead and continue with the mercy rule.
So I formation again, handoff to Hind, and this if they can push them backwards, they'd be in good shape, and they do. So that's a job well done by the Titans defense, and If they can keep doing that for the rest of the quarter, there's no reason why they can't force a 4th down on this one right here.
Exactly.
It was only a 3-yard gain, too.
Right, but at the point, it looked like it was going to be a 5, maybe 6-yard gain. So I was able to bring him back 3 yards.
So 8:43 left in regulation, 30-26 a score in favor of Randolph, and they've got the ball in Titans territory here, and they're looking to make this a 2-score game. Titans looking to force a punt here. Once again, I formation with 2 receivers. It's a give to Paget, and he's not really going anywhere. Got a yard, maybe 2. So last 2 plays, Titans have done a good job stopping the run, but they need to do it 1, if not maybe 2 more times if Randolph does choose to go for it. Should they not convert 3rd down? That's a lot of shoulds and the what-if label, per se.
Yes.
It's going to be a 3rd and 4, so Paget's credited with 3 yards on that carry. So 3rd down and 4. I wouldn't mind seeing an option here to fake out the defense if you're Randolph, but it's going to be – oh, no, it is the option. I called that. Wow. And Hines got more than enough for the 1st down. Man, I feel like Tony Romo calling that play.
I was just about to say that. No, that's such a Tony Romo call. What a good pitch option to the outside.
When they have been running that, they've done so well at selling it to the Titans defense to over-pursue the other end, or there'll be a few defenders that aren't fooled, but then by the time they get to Conley, he's flipping it to Hind, and I think there's been a time or 2 he's done that with Paget.
Yeah. That was about a 9-yard carry there behind.
1st and 10 at the 34. It's another give to Hind. 30, 25, knocked down around the 23-22. That is enough for a 1st down.
Looks like it's going to be about 11-yard from my angle, yep. So 11 yards on that rush by Hind, who's just stacking up those rushing yards, Norm. Almost, they are 6 yards short of 300 rushing.
And he's got to be up in the 200 mark, if not higher.
Mm-hmm.
Hines rushed for the majority of it, and Paget's had a good amount of carries as well. I'd say Paget has about 25, 30 yards. But right now, 1st and 10 to 32. Right now, 1st and 10. Well, this is a give to Paget here. There was a bit of a mishap on the board again, but Paget with another nice carry and having a little trouble getting up unless the defender was trying to grab a hold of him. But it seems like that boiling is starting to simmer down.
Yep, it looks like it's going to be about an 8-yard gain. Yep.
And they're getting the job done here. They're chewing clock. They've chewed up a little more than 4 minutes on this drive. And if they could chew another minute and a half, 2 minutes tops,
they'll be golden.
Then the Titans are going to have to go into urgency mode. I formation once again in the red zone. Give to Hind. He gets to the 10, to the 9-8. Enough for the 1st down. Make it a 1st and goal. So 1st and goal. We'll wait for the spot as we hit 6 minutes left in the game. 30-26 a score. And the ball will be at the 8-yard line, it looks like. It's going to be, yes, it is. It'll be 1st and goal at the 8. I formation again. And it's going to be another give to Hind. Gets to the 5, to the 3. Tackle down around the 1.5, 2-yard line. Hind with another strong performance.
Yeah, but can we talk about that block by number 5 of Randolph?
Paget.
He's
had a
that
great
fullback
game.
block. Yeah, that block right there enabled Hind to get into the hole really quickly right there in the A gap.
2nd and goal at the 2-yard line. Conley under center. I formation. Give to Hind again. And let's see here. It almost looked like he got tackled by. It looked like he was nearly tackled behind the line, but he gets his 4th touchdown in the game. They burn more than 5 minutes off the clock. 10-point lead, 36-26. A 2-possession game. The Titans offense, when they get back on the field, they need to wake up a little bit. They're kind of like the Rip Van Winkle 20-year nap. They've been stagnant, and the defense is wearing out because of it, and it showed right there, unfortunately.
Yes, unfortunately. But they've been stagnant since that little brawl by Blake Frank has happened.
And they're going to go for 2 here once again.
Trying to make this a 12-point lead.
Hind with his 4th touchdown of the game. Here, and it's an option to Hind. Can he get it in there again? No, he won't. He'll be tackled short of the goal line. So that is a big stop there by the Titans. They'll make it still a 10-point game, 36-26. And with 5:11 left in regulation, the Titans need to get a touchdown right here.
They need to get a touchdown, and then they need to recover the onside kick.
Unless they could score in 2.5 minutes, you could always kick it deep as well.
Yeah, that was Tyler Hines' 4th touchdown of the night.
That's what I said, 4th touchdown of the night. He has more than 200 yards rushing.
Oh, that's his 7th on the season.
In just 2 games.
Yep. 3 last week against Lackawanna. Oh, no, not Lackawanna, JFK. And now 4 here against Franklinville, Elkville.
There's still plenty of time left in this game. With 5:11 left, 10 points is not an insurmountable deficit.
No, but you got to start playing with a sense of urgency,
Yes,
especially because if Randolph gets the ball back, they're going to be running, and that's going to kill clock. Franklin and Elkville only have 2 timeouts left in this game.
And here comes the return unit for the Titans. And I'm going to guess they're going to keep this out of Bilecki's hands because the last kickoff, he ran it back for a touchdown. And the other deep man besides him, it's going to be Logan Granols, who had that 60-yard touchdown in the second quarter.
It's cold.
It's going to be Carpenter on the kickoff once again. And away we go. Here's the kick. And a line driver. And that gets fielded by Granols at around the 17. He gets to the 25 to 30. 35, and he crosses to the 39, and he nearly broke that one. And Randolph saying there was a fumble, and they got it. The referee's indicating there was a fumble on the return. The Cardinals recover it, and that could be the fatal blow for the Titans.
And we got a player down. That is for Randolph. That is number 12. That is down. That is Carson Conley.
I don't understand why they would have him on the return
He is
unit like that.
He is on a defense. He is also a defensive end, Norm, the junior.
Yeah, I was kind of surprised to see him out there if that's the case because he's been doing well, even though he hasn't thrown the ball much. He's been managing the game and he's gotten it done. And if this were, God forbid, if this were to be serious,
hopefully it's just. Excuse me. Hopefully it's just a cramp.
Yeah, and there's been quite a few of those that we have seen today.
Right. So Conley is 2 for 6 for 31 yards.
And from what I'm reading on the rosters, there's no other quarterbacks that are listed on here, but he is able to get up on his own power.
Yep, that was Conley too. That was down.
And he's going to have, if this is bad enough, he might have to sit out for one play.
I mean, Travis had a Florida State's quarterback had to set out one play, and then Mackenzie Milton came in, and it looked so much better against Notre Dame. So sometimes your backup could be just as good as your starter.
And Conley's not going to be in on this one, I don't think. He's going to the sideline, but he's up on his own power, which is always a good sign. We'll just have to see who's going to be under center. And from my vision, it looks like it is going to be Josh Bush, I believe, number 3.
Bush.
And yes, it is.
Bush is normally a wide receiver, defensive back, the senior. 5'11", so he has wheels.
Bush is in the shotgun formation right here, pistol. Here's a snap, and it's going to be another give to Hind. He circles it over to the right side, and he gets met by a couple defenders. The 2 to bring him down, they were Granols as well as Caleb Plotz.
Looks like it's going to be a 4-yard gain. Yeah.
Still, though, a huge mistake by the Titans, a huge blunder, fumbling that kickoff, and now Randolph could burn at least another 2.5, 3 minutes easily.
Which will pretty much seal up this game. Norm, Randolph so far, 43 rushes, 315 yards.
That's well more than 7 yards a carry.
That is 7.33 for the viewers
and
at
it's
home.
another no, it's a keeper. And gets met up by a wall of defenders. He gets it to about the 38, 37-yard line.
So about 3 yards.
I was predicting a 3-yard run there by Bush as we have 4 minutes left in the game. This is 4-down territory here, too, for Randolph, but also being up 10 points, should they fail the 3rd down, you could always pooch it to the corner and pin the Titans deep. But 3:43 left in regulation, 36-26 a score. 5-yard run on the run by Josh Bush makes it a 3rd and 3. And it's going to be another give to Hind, and
looks like he's got it.
I think he got it.
That's going to be a 5-yard rush.
Yeah, from that end, you do have the better view. And and their PA announcer has also indicated it is a 1st down, as well as or maybe not, they're going to measure.
They're trying to get the PA, the timekeeper, to stop the clock.
I'm not sure what's going on unless they were
trying to indicate to the timekeeper to stop the clock. The clock was continuing to run.
Wow.
We're going to go with 3:20 on the clock.
So with that amendment, 3:20 left in regulation. If you want to say it in lighthearted terms, 200 seconds left in the game. 36-26 in favor of Randolph. And the way this is looking, they're going to walk away with this victory. And if that's the case, the Titans should walk off this field with their heads up high. They gave Randolph a run for their money, but at the end of it, it did seem like they were starting to run out of gas.
Exactly. And then that fumble.
Yes. But here's the I formation snap. Conley's back in the game, and this is a give again to Hind, and he's nearing 300 yards rushing. So they're nearing the red zone once again.
It looks like it's going to be a 5. We're going to go with 2nd and 5.
And that's what's been said, 2nd down and 5 after that carry by Hind. And now Randolph just taking their time, running the clock down. They've burnt off nearly 3 minutes already in this one, and they've controlled the clock for virtually the whole second half.
Yes, they did, and that enabled them to get the win.
Well, here's a snap, and this is a give to Padgett. And Padgett's not going to be going anywhere. He gets bottled up right away by a wall of Titan defenders. He'll be lucky if he got back to the line, maybe 1 yard forward at the most.
Looks like they're giving him 2 yards on that. 2 or 3? Yeah, they're going to give him 3 yards.
They're giving him 4 yards.
Wow.
3rd down. Wow, that's a bit of a shock from my view of what I saw, but it's going to be 3rd down in the yard. You know what? It wouldn't hurt to maybe see that option play again to Hind. That has been very effective.
You know, Norm, if you can, you get 1st down, you could probably knee it from this point.
Well, it's going to be another give to Hind. He crosses the 10. He's got more than enough for the 1st down. I wonder, though, if they're going to try and go for the touchdown either way. They could need if they wanted to, but the Titans do also have 2 timeouts they could use.
Oh, that is very true as well.
It's not cell phone minutes where it gets rolled over to the next game and you have 5.
Right.
So 1:30 left in the game. Let's see what Randolph's going to do here.
I say you run 2 plays.
They're in the I formation right now. It's a 1st and 10. And it's going to be another give to Hind, and he'll get it to about the 7, maybe the 6-yard line. And we're about to hit 1 minute left in the game, 36-26 a score. If the Titans are able to stop Randolph, if they're trying to go for the end zone, that would be a positive confidence boost going into their next game. And speaking of that, Franklinville-Elkinville's next game would be against Silver Creek, and that's next Friday at 7 p.m. at home for them. While Randolph, their next game will be against Depew, and that is a road game. And here comes bad snap, but Conley's able to fall on it. So 37.8 left in the game, 36-26 a score. And the clock starts running down again. And I think they might just stay there and let the clock run. They don't have to run another play. Because in high school, the clock is 40 seconds on the play clock.
Exactly, and that's exactly what they're going to do.
And so this will highly likely be the final score, barring should Randolph try to pull a trick. But
I don't know. Looks like they're lining up for the play.
And they're in the I formation again. Let's see what they do here. Snap. It is going to be a give to Hind. And I think he got in. I do believe he got in. We'll have to wait and see. And he's going to be ruled short. And that's the end of the game. Final score, Randolph 36 and the Franklinville-Ellicottville Titans 26. In spite of the score, this was a great game. The score did not match the outcome.
It did not. Both teams played phenomenal. Just down the stretch, Randolph just really dominated this game, especially in the fourth quarter.
And it was two words that were effective for them on the offensive side. Keep away. They kept the ball away from Franklinville-Ellicottville. They kept it away from Marsh, who proved he was very dangerous. In spite of that loss, he put on a show here tonight. 3 touchdown passes all in the second quarter. Bilecki with that long 88-yard kickoff return touchdown. They need to walk out of here with their heads up high. They've got nothing to be ashamed of. They gave Randolph everything they got. They just ran out of gas at the end.
Yeah, there's nothing to be ashamed of, like you said. Great game for both teams. Our next broadcast down here in the Southern Tier will be Jamestown Frontier at Starter Field next Friday at 7 o'clock.
And I am looking forward for that game. If I had to pick a player of the game for this, it's obvious. Surprise, surprise, in my opinion. Xander Hind, a phenomenal game. Nearly 300 yards rushing, 4 touchdowns, got 2 two-point conversions. So he finished 28 points respectively. And once again, for the next games for both these teams, Randolph will be on the road at Depew on the 17th at 7 p.m., and the Franklinville-Ellicottville Titans will be at home hosting Silver Creek, same day, same time. Once again, the final score, the Randolph Cardinals 36 and the Franklinville-Ellicottville Titans 26. On behalf of WNY Athletics and from the 300 Level Media Company, along with Jeremy Becker and Jacob Fayok, I'm Norm Rodriguez saying you've been watching this matchup between the Randolph Cardinals and the Franklinville-Ellicottville Titans right here on WNY Athletics. Until next